Oh, yeah, tough one for the comeback Kings last night. They were so close to claiming the inaugural Mitch Richmond trophy. But first things first, Drapes, who's the kid running the board today? Who's this fresh-faced youngster?
Dude, I thought he was on sabbatical. He's back. He's in the building, ready to go. Our boy Jay is back.
Jay is back.
I'm glad, too, because Simone been kicking my butt on the Whitey's Way Back quiz, and so now I can own Jay, beat him, and continue my dominance over him. So I'm happy to have him back.
I just asked Jay. First thing I asked him was, hey, did you have any issues with the hurricane? Actually, canceled one of your stops on your cruise?
Yeah, shut down Belize. We were supposed to go to Belize on one of the last few days, and they were like, nah. Belize shut it down and said all the ports here are going to close and start to prepare. But they didn't get hit at all. But it was all due preparation.
Sure. Where'd you go, Jay? Like, what spots did you hit?
We hit Honduras, so Mahogany Bay. That was the highlight for me. Cozumel and Casamaya.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so Belize was supposed to be, that final destination. I think everybody was kind of looking forward to Belize too.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. That's I've never been on a cruise, man. So
really,
yeah, never been. I'm taking one next year, but
going to Alaska, right?
Yeah, I'm doing the Alaskan cruise next year. So
now, are you doing the? Is it Royal Caribbean Princess?
I'm in the process. Like, so if you got any tips or recommendations,
right?
Exactly. Trying to get a deal somehow, but the kids are coming with. Like before, it was just going to be an adult kind of thing, But now with the kids, my daughter's like, "Dad, we should do a Disney cruise and all." And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to deal with all the riffraff. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure it out right now.
Yeah. If she made enough money at that lemonade stand and she wants
right. You want to pony up for some Disney cruise? Go for it.
Well, that takes you out of Virgin because Virgin are all adult cruises.
Yeah,
to the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
So that cancels that.
What did you miss the most about 1140, Jay?
None of you guys.
Come on,
nothing
Jay.
about the Kings. Nothing about the conversation between what's going on with the Oakland Sacramento A's. I would say probably if there was anything, it would be just driving by the building.
Driving by? Damn, Jay. DeMar DeRozan news broke while you were gone?
Yep.
I'm sure you would have loved to have been here for that, right?
That was probably the talk of the cruise ship, right?
No. Absolutely not. But there were, this is the thing. So I went on the cruise and let me take a step back. I always miss you guys, but there is a point in time where it's like, look, I'm tired of seeing you cats, right?
Yeah, I get that.
And working at the same time. But I will say this, because I went on a cruise, it was a family reunion for my wife. So it was her wife's side, on my wife's side.
Right. Okay.
So we're meeting a bunch of people and, you got to go through the whole obligatory introduction 32 times. Right, of who you are, what you do, that type of stuff. And you guys might now Drape's are a little different. Whitey, of course, you've been in a long time, but people you see you Drape, so they kind of know what you do a lot of times.
Yeah.
But I say when you go to other places, people still try to figure out and they ask you what you do. And so I always try not to tell people I'm in sports.
Oh yeah,
because what happens is what now
they
everyone
sports,
there it goes.
Yeah.
They want to talk to you about.
What do you think of Caitlin Clark? right.
Every topic.
LeBron and Bronny.
Every topic coming down the pipe. What do you think? And then, where do you work at? Sacramento. Here we go. How do you like De'Aaron? Oh my goodness! Are you guys gonna get player A? Is player B coming? Do you think Harrison Barnes can do this?
But you avoided that.
I tried to, but I couldn't.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean it's just. Inevitable. It's inevitable, fellas, because you know how it goes. There's a few, 4, 5, 6, 7 people who know me from that family when it comes to that part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of her immediate family didn't go, so that was cool. But, extended cousins and stuff like that. So there were a handful or two who knew me already. And once they do the introduction, now people are like, so what do you do?
Yeah.
What's going on? And
you gotta tell that story.
Yeah.
20 times.
Once the DeMar DeRozan stuff hit, man, like I was probably the star of the boat. I felt like, so many people, casinos, they got a sports bar there, even the sports guys, like one of the guys was from Serbia. So he wanted to talk about Sasha Vezenkov.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. One of the other guys, he was from Jamaica. So, he wanted to talk about Harrison Barnes and things like that. Just so many different conversations. But when the DD drop news dropped. Now everybody wants to talk to me about DeMar DeRozan and what I think. And, they got rid of Harrison Barnes. And so, yeah, man, it's just obligatory sports conversation for the whole week.
Well, if you're hoping to get away from that talk today.
I see. Fellas, let me say this. And, you know what? and you guys have been there. The phone blows up. And when it happened, I was on the water. So I saw it on TV, on ESPN and all that. And it was one of the days we didn't get the Wi-Fi package because that's a hope, man. Drapes, when you talk about school you on cruises, dude, I'm at the school you on cruises. It is a money grab to the
nickel
fullest.
And dime you, huh? For
dude,
everything.
Straight up. Nickel and dime you. A la carte, brother. Real a la carte. And so I was like, I unplugged. Now, of course, my wife can't do that because she's got to be on Instagram and everything else. So most of the day, she got the Wi-Fi package. I was like, I'm good. But as it started, we had 3 boat days at sea because they cut Belize at the back end. So now I'm starving. I'm looking for stuff to do, right? Trying to figure it out. So once that came through, I'm like, oh, yeah, finally something to do. Now I'm scanning through the Twitters and all that. And, first of all, let me say this. I've been a proponent of DeMar DeRozan. Love DeMar DeRozan.
Yep.
He is on this show has kind of been mid-tier wanted. I think I might have been the highest of all people.
I think
of
so.
DeMar DeRozan. I thought he's a slasher, good with the ball. He's going to help a creator, things that I've been asking for. But I must say, and I love my Kings fans, the Kings Kingdom, but it blew up like we got LeBron.
Yes. Hey, Jay, don't come back first day back.
No, but I'm asking you guys, did it not blow up here like we got LeBron?
Yes, it did. In part because he came. He was in town. Everybody
for
knew
the
he was
Cali
coming.
Classic. Yeah,
everyone had heard he was coming.
Yes.
And they're waiting for the announcement.
Gotcha.
Here,
was it an
official,
appropriate response from the fan base? Or are you saying the fan base went a little too far?
Well, and that's what I guess. Let me propose the question because I got to see it socially. I didn't get to see it and through text messages of people, that want to talk about it. I didn't get to see the live reaction of the fans at the stadium.
Very well orchestrated.
yes.
Yeah, it
yes.
really was.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Very
felt,
well.
Yeah. But, the thing about it, though, Jay, is, and Whitey, the build up throughout the day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, tweets were coming out. DeMar DeRozan's in
That sense
town.
of anticipation built all
and then,
day.
a shot of him at a Mercedes-Benz dealership.
I saw that later on.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
He is in town. And then, somebody tweeted out a picture of him at the arena, but it was from his back. And I'm like, is that really DeMar? And so it just got heightened and heightened and heightened.
Gotcha.
And then the news broke. Woj broke the news, I think it was. And then he came out first, Monty by himself, and get the Monty chants. Yeah. And then DeMar comes out with Vivek, and the crowd goes crazy. Kendrick Lamar is not like us. And then De'Aaron Fox and Rasay come out at the end and sit right next to him.
So was he signed prior to coming out? Or was he, because the way I saw it was he was not signed already.
Officially, he wasn't all the way sure he wanted to do it, even though everything was in place. He wanted to come check everything out. That's the story anyway.
Okay.
It seemed
stopped at the Mercedes-Benz dealership to check that out first. Huh?
At one point during the day, he decided and gave him the thumbs up. I don't know, but they didn't announce it.
They didn't, but it had to be in place, right? Like, why are you going to a Mercedes dealership if you're not, going to actually be in that city? And so, no, it was a movie, man. I wouldn't be surprised if in a week or so they do like a mini movie or something like that, on the run that they do, their mini series that they do, a YouTube series and behind the scenes with DeMar, and how it all went down.
So very exciting, Jay. Very exciting.
And your guys' take on it?
Great acquisition, but they're going to need to do at least one more thing, I think. But I think it's excellent. And to your point, before Drapes gives his view, when you had him on your wheel, I remember myself, you said, how about DeMar DeRozan? I remember saying, not a good fit. I did say that. But now he upgrades him talent-wise.
It's crazy. I like the move. I love the move. But when we did it during the wheel, it was like the timeline. He's about to be 35. We were all like, and then once it happened, it's like, oh, this is the greatest move ever. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird how that works, right? I'm all for it. But I did say, and I said this yesterday, I don't care who they get.
Yeah.
Kuzma, whatever. Once they get him, let's go. Let's rock. We all in. You know what I mean? I can't say, oh, man, why'd they get this guy? Like, no, this ain't a fit. Like, all right, DeMar's here now. Let's make it work.
So you got to let it go.
Let's make it work.
Yeah, all hands on deck now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got you. And, you know, the one thing I love about DeMar for me is, and he's been a proponent because he's faced some depression and he, you know, he was one of the poster boys, so to say, him and Kevin Love.
Yep.
And they are single-handedly part of the reason why each team has to have a licensed psychiatrist, a mental health person on all NBA roster organizations. They have to at least employ one. And so I really like DeMar because he's one of those cats. And I think people here in Sacramento has found out he's very personable.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, he doesn't avoid conversations.
Right.
To me, that's what the Kings need. And I'm being blunt, man. I'm just being completely honest. I think they run from conversations over there. And I think DeMar is the type of person, because what the Kings have done prior to this past season, which I think they've put a lot of pressure on De'Aaron. It might not be pressure, and that might not be the proper word, but I think they've put out a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
And even De'Aaron said it once or twice this year. I come out here because the team asked me. And then even mentioned the Kings PR, Shannon. It was like, I come out here because Shannon asked me, you know? So we all know for a long time, Harrison Barnes was kind of that guy that they ran out there to smooth over the waves, talking about a cruise here. And I think DeMar is going to be that guy who steps into that.
Yeah.
And the difference, I think, is HB does a great job in that. DeMar, though, as much as he's still, you know, like he's a professional, he's going to be one of those guys. He's also going to come out there and say, listen, everything ain't, you know, it ain't a peachy creamy. It ain't 100% here right now. You know, and we got to do a little bit better things and do some other things. And so that's the other part I like about DeMar too. He's very personable, man. Like, he's not running from conversation.
You know, there were a number of times this year where we were talking about a kind of an apparent lack of leadership. It looked that way. I don't know whether there was one or not, but to your point, Jay, I don't think we're going to have any questions about that this year, because nothing against HB. HB did a great job of that, but DeMar DeRozan just has a more established podium. You know, when he speaks as a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And a guy, you know, a 6-time All-Star, a guy that comes here with a resume.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you got to respect him, you know, and look at it too. You know, he's 35. Think about this. You know, Keegan Murray, let's say, Devin Carter, even Devin Carter more specifically, they kind of probably looked up to DeMar DeRozan. They remember DeMar, you know, when they were in high school, when they were in middle school, and DeMar was getting 25, 27 points per game. And so now to be his teammate, you know, you walk into the locker room, you're like, that's DeMar DeRozan right there, you know? And so I think he commands a level of respect in the locker room too.
All right. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come right back with anything that stood out about the Kings in the California Classic. I know Jay, not a big fan of the trophy. And Steve Kerr with a surprising take on whether the Warriors would trade Jonathan Kuminga. That more as we roll on. Drive Guys reunited. It feels so good on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles the man. 10-5. Touchdown. CMC.
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 special. Rock it into the night. Friday, July 19th at 7:30 at the venue at Thunder Valley. With Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss 38 Special Live.
18 number ones. Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now, Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by Bonnie Electrical Heating and Air and the U.S. Marines.
your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Jay Drapes is out on this song.
That's all right.
Jay,
He's in on DeMar DeRozan.
Let me I tell you what, when that video dropped,
Yep.
and DeMar popped up,
Yep.
I was like, "Ooh, that's nice." That was a good touch. But I will say, and I said this all week, Jay, you were out.
Oh, here we go.
The song is played out.
Here we go.
It's played out. You know what it is, and I said this yesterday. I saw a video. I saw a video yesterday. Main Street in Disneyland. You got Mickey and Minnie walking down Main Street dancing to it. It's jumped the shark, Jay.
So Taylor Swift can come out with a song, pop, Disney, Little Mermaid, everybody's swimming to it. Ariel swimming to it in Disney Paris, it's fine. But Kendrick makes a rap song, and it's played out.
That goes mainstream.
Yes.
Come on, Drake fan.
No, because what's happening
Come on, Drake fan.
Kendrick is turning into Drake. He's becoming a pop artist. Kendrick's from Compton, California, CA, Jay.
True.
Come on now. You got people misappropriating the song, big fella.
Well, that's not his fault.
I know, but that's not what it was made for. It wasn't made. It was made as a diss track. All of a sudden, the diss track is pop. Now you got Mickey Mouse crip walking down Main Street. Come on, man.
Mickey, baby.
Come on, man.
That just means it was a fantastic song.
I guess, man.
And Kendrick, and let's be real, Kendrick was borderline pop anyway.
Ooh, you said it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Kendrick would tell you that too. It's just the one thing Kendrick does is he operates as if he's not a pop star. But when you want to be a pop star and make the pop money, but not operate in that form, I mean, come on.
And who did Kendrick Lamar do a song with? I forget. Way back.
Too many. He's done with rock bands, the Taylor Swift's type.
Was he on Bad Blood with Taylor Swift? Yes. Yes, he was. He did a song with Taylor Swift.
Aren't you the Swiftie?
Yeah, that gave her street cred.
Why are you asking me? You should be telling me.
I thought I was setting you up. You should know that. He gave her street cred.
Anything that got to do with Taylor Swift, no matter if Kendrick Lamar or Kyle Draper's involved with it, I'm not.
You out on it?
I'm out.
That's messed up, man. We opposite.
I'm gonna support you, but I ain't gonna support her.
Are you out on this today? Paul Skeens of the Pirates, 7 no-hit innings. They took him out. 7
where was he at?
innings.
How many pitches?
I don't know. 11 strikeouts, 99 pitches, 65 of them strikes.
He's a young kid.
7 no-hit innings. Take him out of the game. Let's see. Colin Holderman came in and lost the team's no-hitter, giving up a single to Jake Powers.
At an 8th?
They won the game. Yeah, they won the game, but they took out Paul Skeens. He had a no-hitter going, 7 innings.
Yeah.
Sit down.
If I could see if it was a lesser player, but this guy is an all-star. This guy is one of the faces of Major League Baseball. Can you imagine if he does complete the no-hitter? What that would do for baseball? Mm-hmm. That'd be the lead story tonight in SportsCenter and all the talk shows and everything. Major League Baseball and the Pirates, they wasted an opportunity. And don't tell me, well, the analytics suggest this or that. Now, if he was at 120 pitches, okay. But 99? He could go another inning at least and see how he's doing, right?
Mm-hmm. You would think, but it's just not done now.
They just don't do it that
even
way.
An option.
That's
it's not like they're sitting there. Should we take him out? It's like 99 pitches. All right, you're done.
You know what the problem? Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's the problem right there. It's instead of how the pitcher is looking, how he's performing, how he's playing, it's they got their hands in their laptop and their computer and their iPad, not even watching the game. Oh, he's at 99, got to come out. Like, dude, what happened to the eye test? If he looks strong, he's looking good. Let him rock. So, yeah.
What do you think, Jay?
I'm with you. I'm everything you guys are talking about. This dude is a star.
Right.
Remember Mark Pryor came in and took the baseball by storm his first year? Paul Skeens is that type of guy. Roger Clemens, I wasn't old enough, but I saw the buzz, 86. The buzz was there.
Dwight Gooden. When
that's a good. We got to get Doc on. We got to get Doc on.
Make that happen.
We got to get Doc on. Doc is a very good interview, man. And when I talked about DeMar, Doc lets it all ride.
Okay.
He won't run from a question. Paul Skeens, he is right now, this sounds crazy. He's a top 3 pitcher in the league right now.
Yeah, I think so. He could be the starter.
Right now.
He could be the National League starter in the All-Star game.
Yes.
Yeah.
They should ride this wave.
They missed an opportunity.
This is Ant Edwards. This is the Ant Edwards of baseball right now.
Yes, you're right about that. You're right.
When we pay him too much money, we don't want to get him injured. And plus, third time through the lineup.
Who's that?
I don't know.
That's the analytic guy upstairs.
Farhan or something.
That's analytic.
Analytic. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense. Mathematically, that doesn't make sense.
So anyway, that happened today. They won the game.
Isn't this the second time they've done that to him?
I don't think it's
Didn't
the
a couple
second
of
time
weeks
with him.
ago? I could have swore he went to seventh and,
Honestly,
and he was.
It happens all the time now, Jay.
Yeah.
It happened to somebody with the Astros, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that was one. But I
Yeah.
thought he was right there. He took it to the seventh, and maybe he gave up one hit, and maybe that was it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let him go. Skip. Let him go.
Let him play.
Players
right?
don't even say that. The pitchers don't even argue. They don't even try to stay in the game now. Like, well, yeah, figure they're going to take me out.
Yeah.
Catching up on something that we were talking about yesterday. We've been talking a lot about this Lowry Markkanen thing. Kings looks like they're out. Warriors supposedly are still in on Lowry Markkanen. Who are they going to trade? Would they trade Kuminga? I told you yesterday, Drapes, I said, I don't think they would trade Kuminga. But Steve Kerr was on the Warriors flagship station, and he was asked about trading Kuminga. He said, first of all, you have to understand there's very few players in the league who are not talked about in trade discussions. Steph Curry is not being discussed in trade talks. Everybody else is. And if you went down the list of teams, Lakers probably not talking to anybody about LeBron. Everybody's got maybe one or two guys who are off the table. So the vast majority of the players in the NBA, the players are constantly going to be discussed in trade talks because everyone's trying to do the same thing, which is improve their team. So according to Steve Kerr, Kuminga is not untradeable and untouchable.
And let's keep it real. Let's call it what it is, Sacramento, because we think Keegan is untouchable. That's been the talk. If the right trade comes along, if Boston's offering up Jason Tatum, you know what I mean? There's only a handful, to Steve Kerr's point, a handful of guys that are untradeable, untouchable. And no offense to Kuminga, he's not one of them. Like, if you can get a Markkanen or somebody of that ilk, you know, as great as Kuminga's been, we've shown some promise. Markkanen helps you right now. And so I wouldn't be shocked if, you know, Markkanen, if they do get him. If I'm Danny Ainge, I'm asking for Kuminga. It has to start with Kuminga.
And you'd be scared of the Warriors, right? If they got
they're putting together something. You know, Markkanen's a former All-Star. We know what Steph Curry can do, and that allows Wiggins and all the other Draymond not to have to worry about being a great offensive threat. Markkanen can be a 24, 25 point per game scorer, and that's something I think the Warriors need right now.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
I hope not, man, because, you know, right now our Kings have won the offseason. Like, you know, especially in we are the best team in California right now. No doubt about it. You know, you add DeMar DeRozan, you saw the Clippers losing out on Paul George, Klay Thompson's gone, Lakers haven't done a damn thing. And so the Kings are positioned to win the state of California right now. The Warriors get Markkanen, now you're talking about them as maybe a top 6 team in the West. More competition. I think the Kings are, despite what happened last night in the California Classic, I think the Kings are a better team than Golden State. Markkanen might make that questionable if they get him.
So I don't know if you watched any basketball last night, but if you did you watch the California Classic or did you watch USA in Canada?
Well, I didn't watch either live. I recorded them both. And I watched USA Canada fully through, and I watched most of the California Classic.
USA got off to a slow start last night.
They were down 11-1.
Then when they brought in the second unit,
and Edwards came in and changed everything. And Tyrese,
and AD and Bam, and they just took over.
I tell you what, when I look at Team USA, we know Steph's great. You know, LeBron's going to be LeBron, but Anthony Edwards, he backed up what he was talking about. Remember, he talked about they're going to have to fit around me. He came in and single-handedly changed the game. I could argue the second unit with AD, with Ant Edwards, Tyrese, Jason Tatum was better than the starters, right?
If you argued that, I would not argue with you.
I could argue that they might even be a better team right now than the starters. And so that was impressive. And I think that's where the USA has the advantage, their depth, because as great as Canada is, they got a fantastic team. When they go to their bench, versus when USA goes, like, we're bringing in Anthony Edwards and Jason Tatum
the
off
energy
the bench.
level went,
yes, it changed dramatically. And then it became contagious, too. You saw LeBron started to play. Steph started to play a different level. And I know this guy, we make fun of him around here, but Anthony Davis in international play is tremendous. Like, people talk about, his defense isn't as good as – did you see he dominated defensively yesterday, I thought. And so I like Team USA and what's happening with this squad.
So now Team USA would have Embiid and Anthony Davis if they got to play against Wembanyama and Rudy
Stifle Tower, Gobert.
Yeah.
I like that matchup.
I do too.
I like that matchup.
This would be the biggest upset, certainly in basketball history, maybe in all sports history, if this USA team lost.
Bigger than 72 Olympics?
Well, that wasn't an upset. That was just wrong.
All right, we got cheated.
They kept playing over and over and over and over.
You might be right. You might be right.
But this would almost be like the Soviet hockey team losing to the U.S.
Yeah.
Don't you think? I mean, there's just so much talent. And other teams have talent, but they have pockets of it. Right. And this team is like the whole freaking roster.
Whitey, you making a mistake us rude Americans always make that, you know what? Because I don't know the names, that doesn't mean that these players aren't great. You know,
we do know most of the names of the other players.
Most of them, you know, but there are some guys that we don't know the names that are playing in Europe right now that are kicking butt.
Yeah, but
just because you're not in the NBA,
if they were any good, they'd be here.
It's international style play. I'm not saying
how'd the EuroLeague MVP do when he came over here.
Hey, you should have heard Carmichael Dave's interview with a guy from Europe that covers Sasha.
Yeah,
it's a different ball game. It's now we're playing international rules, and I will say, watching that game, the international ball gives Team USA some troubles. I don't know if you noticed that. Just the ball handling was a little suspect at times, and so and in today's day and age with the 3-point line, if USA goes cold from 3 or something, and somebody's hot, so I'm not saying the gold medal is a wrap just yet.
Well, I'm just saying if they don't get it, it's going to be a massive upset and a huge disappointment.
Huge disappointment.
As you said a couple of days ago when we were at the arena, this very well could be the best USA team ever assembled.
Right.
They don't have the cachet, the dream team and all that, but you just look at the roster and the talent. Oh my goodness.
When you say upset, I agree with you. They are the most talented team in the world, this team right now. But as you know, and they talked about it on the broadcast yesterday, you know, international play, it's not like the NBA Finals best of 7. It's like more like the NCAA tournament, one and done. It could be Georgetown and Villanova. You just never know. But they look good. I thought despite the start, they had firepower, weapons, and Drew Holiday. And now they add Derek White, the defense. Like, that's something I think not being talked about enough. Like, we can defend now, too.
Speaking of the NBA offseason, as we were a moment ago, how come Drape's personal friend Chris Mannix does not list the Kings as offseason winners? What's that about? Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Right now, while you're sitting on the couch or just driving around, your friends are at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range powered by Top Tracer. The vibe is perfect, whether you're an accomplished player or a newbie. Play a variety of fun games, play Pebble Beach, or compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range. Hungry? The Hangout Food Truck offers burgers, chicken strips, and more. Check the summer-long free concert schedule. Be a part of the fun at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, open until midnight.
This segment is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at kiavacaville.com.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT Turbo Max. In stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive. All in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. N73124.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
I feel good, I feel alright, cruising through my neighborhood on the warm summer.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
You know how NBA players now, every year it's a big story, who's going where, free agency. There was a time when guys who were moving from one team to another were kind of looked down upon. And the origin, the guy that started all that really was Rick Barry. Rick Barry was one of the first guys. He jumped leagues and was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He was a free agent, left the Warriors and went to the Rockets at a time. It was like, what are you doing? He was ahead of his time.
No, he was. And we talk about all-time greats. He's probably not mentioned enough. I mean, this dude was a scoring machine in his day, you know, and 12-time All-Star, NBA champs, 6-time All-NBA, 4-time All-ABA. And I can't wait to have him on. What, 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock.
We
That's
got him
what I
on.
mentioned. Yeah, Rick Barry's going to be joining us today.
Now, I'm looking at his numbers. He averaged 35.6 points a game with the Warriors back in 66, 67. Then he jumped to the ABA, then came back to the NBA.
Pretty good free throw shooter, right?
Yeah, he was halfway decent. 89% for his career. Led the whatever league he was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times league leader in free throws. His highest percentage, 94.7. Wow. Think about that, making 95%. Yeah. That's unheard of.
I think he's in Vegas or has been in Vegas this week, and he's still showing teams how to shoot that underhand.
Is
shot.
he still?
Nobody wants to shoot it.
Nobody wants
to do it.
They call it the old granny style. Now that's what the kids call it. But no,
deadly.
He made a career out of that, man.
So how come your buddy Chris Mannix? That's your guy, right?
That is my guy. That is my guy. Show. I'm about to text him here. Tell me what what Chris Mannix did or did not do.
Well, it could be worse, but here's the deal. SI.com, NBA free agency winners and losers. Chris Mannix. Now, he doesn't have the Kings as losers, but nor are they among his winners. He has the Sixers are a winner. The Spurs are free agent winners. The Warriors are losers. A lot of the West Coast teams are losers, according to him. Winner, Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah. East Coast bias.
Yeah.
Lakers are losers. So he's got all that winner, the Knicks. So what's going on there?
What the Knicks do? Just the Mikal Bridges trade, I guess.
Okay. OG. They re-signed OG.
But a lot of people are saying you re-sign OG to that money, that contract.
Yeah. By the way, did you guys see this? I just got this text from Chris Watkins. Devin Carter out 6 months?
Yeah, I was waiting to deliver that news to you.
Wow.
Kings announced he went under a successful shoulder surgery to repair a torn labrum. He'll begin the rehab process, expected to make a full recovery. A medical update will be provided in approximately 6 months. A medical update in 6 months. So not that he'll be back in 6 months. July, August, September,
so that's
October,
January.
November, December, January.
So he's going to miss the first season.
At least the first half of the season. Yeah. He might not be back till after All-Star break.
Yeah, he's going to miss the season.
Nah.
I'm going on right now. What's today? July 11th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gets to it where Drapes is talking about all-star, and you're like, you know what? We'll wait. We'll hold off.
You may be right. I'm gonna go the other way. Labrum, they get in there. It's probably not bad. They stitch it up. Once he gets the range of motion back, he'll be ready to go certainly by the second round of the playoffs. Probably before
Western
then.
Conference Finals, maybe something like that. Okay, all right. Yep. Oh man, yeah, that hurts though. And he was very active on social media on Twitter /X earlier today. Said, "Sac, thank you for believing in me. I'll be back soon and can't wait to show y'all this dog you have." And what's interesting, guys, about that, what's interesting about the Devin Carter injury, and I want to get your guys' take on this. We were told the injury happened when, Whitey?
I don't know that we were told.
I think it was during a workout, I heard.
I heard that, yeah.
But then he tweeted out, really played this season with my shoulder how it was. Friartown deserved it, though. So he's been dealing with this all season long.
Mm-hmm.
So he was already hurt.
Do you remember after the draft, we talked to Jerry Reynolds, and Jerry said, I think teams were scared off by the shoulder.
Yes.
So I think there was something that.
And who did we have?
Teams were aware of.
Maybe the voice of the Friars or somebody from out there. I forget who it was.
We had a writer on from.
Yeah, but they talked about how he missed the game, late in the season. Remember, he missed the tournament game.
Yeah,
I think it was, and because of the injury. And so it was. So the Kings knew.
That's right. It was a writer from the Providence Beacon or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Providence Projo. Yeah. And so the Kings clearly must have known that this guy was already, injured. And so it clearly didn't concern them for a long-term prognosis or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Well, that's, taking advantage of an opportunity. If you have a guy that, teams are going to let him drop because he's not going to be available for Jason's first season, but that, we love the guy. He's going to be fine after that. It's just labrum. Snap him up.
Right?
Yeah.
And maybe, all the mock drafts we saw had him top 10, really, you know? And so we were like, man, he's still there at number 13, and I think the Kings might have been surprised that he was still there and they snatched him up. But man, this hurts though. You know what's interesting, fellas? I was thinking about this. Our guard rotation, clearly it's a strength of ours. We got a lot of depth, but we might have too much depth at the guard position if Kevin Huerter remains on the team. Think about this. You got De'Aaron Fox. And if they go out and get a power forward, then that shifts DeMar DeRozan to the 2. So let's say you have Fox, DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter, Keon Ellis, Devin Carter when he comes back.
Jordan McLaughlin.
What about the guy that at the beginning of the season last year, everybody was like, Kobe Jones, he got to get minutes. He got to play some minutes. Kobe got to play. Somebody's on the outside looking in. Like, we're too guard heavy right now, I think, especially if DeMar is playing the 2. Think about this. If Malik is coming off the bench and if Kevin Huerter is coming off the bench, it's not redundant, but I don't see how Kevin Huerter really fits in, because unless you play him at sub 3, because you got other guys coming off the bench and, maybe they don't make a move with Kevin because of this Devin Carter situation, but I feel like you may have too many guards right now if you're Sacramento.
Here's the thing with Kevin Huerter, though, and you're right. Everything you said is, it's true. Kevin Huerter's value could not be much lower right now. So if you trade him, you're not going to get back what he's worth, and you know that. So if you can work him in, and like I say, if you could play him at a 3 or just find a way where he's going to get minutes and have an opportunity to start making shots again, his value goes up. And then either you have the player that you thought you were getting and he helps you, or he has more value when you trade him. So to me right now, moving off of Kevin Huerter right now is a really low percentage play, because you're not going to get what he's worth.
Right.
He's a better player than his value says he is right now.
I agree. And, if I'm the Kings, I take, the first half of the season and see if he can rehabilitate himself, like get back to the form he had a couple of years ago. But what's so crazy is I still don't know, come game one, who's our starting two guard.
Right.
At this point. I have no idea.
Chris and Allen, they
talked about that today? Yeah. I have no idea. Is it Keon Ellis? Do you go back to Kevin Huerter? What about your boy Malik Monk? If you get a 4, do you move DeMar DeRozan? Like, there's still some work to be done, to your point, to figure out where guys are going to be slotted at the start of the season.
I know I just mentioned Jerry. I saw Jerry this morning, and we were talking about this, and he agrees. He's like, oh, they need more size, and you know who he likes at the 4.
I'm sure it's somebody I like. Me and Jerry see kind of eye to eye on a lot of things.
John Collins,
right?
My guy, Jerry. So hold on. What was your response to that?
At first, I tried to ignore him. No, I just I asked a little bit about what he's heard about him, but he thinks he'd be a good fit because he's a good shooter. The book on him is sometimes it seems like he's one of those guys that isn't giving you everything. But
look, there are a lot of those guys. A lot of those guys, and look at the situations he's been in. Yeah. Atlanta has proven to be a dog franchise. Utah really isn't serious about winning. I think he comes with this culture. We'll get the best version of John Collins. I'll end this thought by saying, when I bring up John Collins, everybody shoots it down. John Collins sucks, Drape. You're wrong, man. What are you talking about? When the legend, Jerry Reynolds, says it, everybody's like, oh, John Collins might be the guy. Like, wait, what's up with that? I've been telling you about John Collins for 3 months.
I know. I'm not crazy about him. If he's so good, that's the thing. You look at his numbers, and they jump off the page, right?
Yes.
And if he's available, as your friend in Utah told us, how come teams aren't getting him? That's what I don't get.
He's our back pocket guy.
All right. TNT still has a shot at part of the NBA's new TV deal. We'll explain what that's about. And we'll get to Rick Barry, top of the hour, too. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
What's up? Talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Make This the Summer Sales event?
Right now, save up to $12,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Laramie or Tradesman. For work or for play, you pick. If you need a heavy-duty Ram truck, Hoblet should be your first stop to find what you need at the best price.
Oh, you're going all out this month.
From the time my grandfather opened the first Hoblet dealership back in 1949, one thing we've strived for is to treat you like family. That's why you'll find the big city selection and savings with over 400 Rams available, with the small-town care and attention when you buy from Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram.
You won't find a bigger selection or better deals on the truck you want. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
12,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 and 3500 after 2,000 Hoblet Select inventory bonus cash. Land include 9,500 dealer discount and 500 first responder bonus cash for current members of qualifying First Responder Association. Tradesmen include 7,000 dealer discounts and 5,000 factor rebates. Rebates include 1,500 commercial bonus cash for current business owners with valid tax ID. At least 5 of each offer. Sample VIN 103767 and 221741. See dealer for details.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 tests under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
The Open Championship celebrates its 152nd anniversary this month at Royal Troon in Scotland. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. The game's top players assemble for a chance at the coveted Claret Jug. The Open Championship is about tradition, excellence, and class. And you'll find similar qualities at Naturewood Home Furnishings as they assemble the finest furniture and brand choices for your selection. When you visit Naturewood, you'll be amazed at the gallery of superior furniture available for your lifestyle, for your decor, for your home. This weekend during Naturewood's bedroom sale, you're sure to find the perfect piece you've been searching for. Naturewood is proud to bring you Open Championship updates on this station and proud to offer you the finest furnishings available. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the watermill.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here to remind you that the famous Bay Area pizza company Amici's East Coast Pizzeria now has a location in Sacramento offering takeout and delivery to the greater Sacramento area. You can check out their menu and order online at amicis.com and click on the Sacramento location. And as a special deal all this week, order any large pizza and get a second pizza of equal or lesser value for half the price. Use code HALF-OFF at checkout. So when you want a great deal on pizzas this week, use promo code HALF-OFF at amicis.com and Amici's delivers.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach, kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings mop crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and, of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Well, that's a lot of Draper in that stop set there.
Well, the station want the ratings to go up. Hey, they bring in the LeBron James of Sactown Sports, 1140.
Jay is back with us today. Thank you to Simone for holding things down for us. Jay, I'm sorry, but Drapes did not mention you yesterday. I asked him when he goes to Vegas if he had to. He would never do this. But if he had to leave his Mercedes-Benz with somebody at the station, who would he most likely leave it to? Who'd be at the top of the list? Who'd be at the bottom? He had Simone at the top. Carmichael Dave at the bottom. He didn't mention you. I thought maybe you'd be the guy.
No problem. It's all good. Got love for him.
Jay understand that.
Yeah,
He'd probably say the same thing. He probably has Simone number one too. That's our little sister. You know, we look out for her. You know, treat her, want her to have a good weekend, a good time out with her and her boo. So
yeah, we ain't tripping.
Right.
Yeah. No worries. Where were you at on that list?
I wouldn't have nowhere near
you weren't on that list either?
Jay already got about 7-8 cars. He don't need my little old Mercedes. He got 4 or 5 cars.
Hey, when we talk about on this show, stop counting people's pockets on this show.
right. I'm not even on his uniforms. Who's that? What's your sponsor?
Alsco.
Yeah, I'm not even on his Alsco
What?
free uniforms list.
Are you serious?
Nah.
Dang.
You know what list Whitey is? He's the free giveaway list. Like when I get a T-shirt at Kings games or something like, I've done that before. I hooked you up. I give you the T-shirt. See, so I look out for you. But you're on that level. No offense. That's where you are.
When you gave it to me, remember I tried to give it back because I thought, oh, give it to your kids or something. I didn't know. You grabbed like 50 of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know,
got a box?
I literally. Yeah. I wear them. I use them to wash the car. You know, they're all over that. Dude.
You give them away to people.
Oh, all right.
Like throughout the public.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially all the foundational things you do.
Yeah, I have seen him do that.
No shots off my boy Whitey, not even on the list or nothing.
No, it was one or the other.
Amici's pizza list?
I haven't tried Amici's yet, though.
Really?
Yeah, but they are giving us some free pizzas, so I'll order some for us three.
Now, how have you not partook yet? Like, why haven't you been over there yet?
I did go over there. I just didn't eat.
Gotcha.
I just did. I checked out. You know, I saw where the facility was and everything. It's just I just haven't had the chance to just yet.
All right.
I'm still waiting on the free vouchers. If Scott Marsh is listening right now, he's supposed to lace us up with some. So
look forward to that. By the way, we keep going one way and then something happens. And
it's got something else.
Points us in another direction. Jay just sent this to me a little bit ago. Our buddy Bip Roberts.
Oh, Bip, yes.
The great Bip Roberts. Good luck ever meeting a nicer person than Bip. He announced today on NBCS Athletics he is interested in running for the mayor of Oakland should Mayor Sheng-Tao be removed from office. Okay, so it wasn't politics, so what? But did you hear Scott Ostler a couple weeks ago wrote that some people in the government in Oakland say that if Shang Tao were to leave office for whatever reason, baseball might revisit Oakland as a home for the A's. And if the mayor of Oakland was Bip Roberts,
Really?
yes.
Get out of here.
I'm just telling you what he wrote. I can't.
So is it
say that's true or
right?
not?
But it makes it sound like it's more personal and not policy. Like
this piece by Scott Oster, indicated that baseball, they feel that there was a lot of animosity towards them from the mayor and the mayor's office. And that's just what was written. Who knows what his sources? Scott Oster's a really good writer. He's another one of these guys that doesn't just throw stuff out there. So he suggested that if the mayor of Oakland were to leave, that maybe baseball would revisit the A's staying in Oakland. And I would have to think if the mayor were Bip Roberts. I think there'd be really good
Oakland
chance
legend Bip Roberts. Let me ask you this, though, because I'm not as in tune with, the behind the scenes machinations, if you will, about, what happened between the A's and the city. Is there a belief that the mayor botched this, or is Fisher and Cavill and all of them solely to blame?
Baseball's view?
No, I'm talking from a fan perspective. Like, just the public's view of this.
I think the public view is that it's all Fisher. And I think the public, for the most part, Jay spent more time at Oakland than me. He could speak to this, but I think the public thinks that the mayor did a good job of standing up for Oakland.
Okay, right. That's what I wonder, And if Bip came in, wouldn't he stand up for Oakland too?
Yes,
ideally,
I'm sure he would. Yeah.
Baseball might be more inclined to listen.
Yeah,
and a different messenger, a different person you're negotiating with might get it done.
This obviously would be a long process because she would have to leave, and then they'd have to have some kind of special election or something. They'd have to run and blah blah blah. But anyway, that's could be significant.
I guess I would say, isn't there kind of more a whole compass of outlook when it comes to the politicians in Oakland over the last 20 years as a whole, more than just Mayor Shang Tao? Like, I think most of the public and fans, baseball fans around the Oakland A's, organization kind of blame a lot of politicians. When I say a lot, a handful of politicians that have been in office and have been around this situation. And it goes back to Delmas. Like, even people push back even that far, going back to the Mayor Delmas of Oakland, which was 25 years or something like that ago now. But I think she's on the back end. She's the one that is current. She's the one that's now. She's the one that's in office now. And it's on her watch as much as it is, her predecessors as well. So I think she's taking some heat, but I don't think she's bearing all the grunt of the issue.
But don't you think that if baseball were, maybe this thing with the A's, maybe they're realizing it's not going the way we hoped. Boy, it'd be great to go back to Oakland. Well, how can we do that?
Yeah.
This gives us an excuse, a reason to say, fans, we love you. It wasn't you. It was these terrible people that were running things, and it was their fault. Thank goodness they're out of the way now. And now we can come back and we can give you what you deserve.
Yes.
I'm not saying that's true, but there is that opportunity.
It might be
perhaps
sort of an out for Major League Baseball, a way to save face, and then come in and look like a hero. All of a sudden, a feel-good story. And so, no, Bip would be great, man. I've dealt with him.
He's too nice a guy to be the mayor of something.
Right. But
he deserves
But
better.
he's a no-nonsense guy, too, though, Bip
I know.
is. Like, he's nice, he's pleasant, but he's Oakland through and through, too, now. He ain't going to take no mess. And so, and the thing that I would love about Bip and, talking to him, talking to our guy, High Flyer, people from Oakland, they have their heart in Oakland. You know what I mean? It's not an outsider coming in trying to run for mayor. Like, I believe Bip would do what's best for the city of Oakland. No personal agenda, nothing like that. Like, he comes from a good place if he were to be the mayor.
I don't think there's anybody that could be a candidate for mayor who would better understand the importance of baseball in that community than Bip.
Yeah, he grew up in it. I mean, that's his thing. And so that's interesting to watch. And didn't the mayor get raided by the FBI about a month or two ago? I'm not sure what that was in connection to or anything
connection
like that.
To family. Let's just say that her family has some connections to a crime organization. She's part of, through blood.
Okay.
Through blood.
Not that she's being accused or anything, but
well, it's, when people in high places connected in an organization of crime, a family, very close relationship, they're scaling everything. So it was more of a let's put a task force on everyone that may be connected to this family.
Yeah.
Not so much as personal, but it is personal because you are connected to the family.
And I guess she was just served with a subpoena following the raids.
Yes.
Records of Mayor, her partner, asked for as well.
Also,
significant other
potential allegations of illegal political financing.
Right. But which is part of the family situation.
Okay.
It's like
All right.
money ciphering, those type of things.
Yeah. One more note on the A's that relates to Sacramento potentially. There's an interesting piece today in the Chronicle. John Shea writing about how baseball's having a really hard time putting the schedule for next season together because they're trying to work around Sacramento and the heat and the turf and stadium availability, and so they're having some issues there with that.
And not surprising, I would imagine in July and August there'd be a lot of road trips. A lot of road games for the Oakland A's.
Just think if they were here this month. I mean, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Great, but on the other hand,
unbelievable.
Put a roof on it.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Put a roof, right? Retractable.
Wait, this is my thing. We're talking about sending this team to Las Vegas. Has anyone been watching Las Vegas?
Yeah, I've been looking at
it's
that.
hotter than here.
They do have with that thing with all the
I don't
pennants,
believe it, Whitey.
That has a roof.
Don't believe it.
Right.
No, in theory,
they're putting air conditioner as well.
Right now, it's 117 in Vegas.
Right, come on.
117.
Casey Pratt just tweeted a week ago or so. He used it there around the Tropicana. He said he didn't see one sign anywhere that said future home of the A's. Not there. Future home of the A's. Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah.
Not on paper, baby.
Not on paper. Yeah.
They got the $350 million from the state. The city is still yet to get behind it. Federal, statewide, they've got the money. The city of Las Vegas, the Teachers Association, they're fighting.
There's still a gap too. They got, here's your money. All right, we're going to need more. How are you going to get it?
$1 billion.
Yeah, it's a big gap.
We're looking for investors.
$600 million off, and John Fisher doesn't want to put none of his personal money, private money.
We'll put that aside for a bit. I'm sure we'll come back to it many
Sacramento,
times.
baby.
Yeah, but when we come back, the Hall of Famer, the great Rick Barry. What does he think of this crazy NBA offseason, all the player movement? We'll find out. Rick Barry joining us next on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spas Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
This segment is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at kiavacaville.com.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day. And smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, Sactown Sports fans, get ready for an unforgettable summer with the Sactown Sports live events calendar, packed with the hottest shows around. Starting at Thunder Valley Resort, don't miss the epic Slash and Serpent Tour on July 12th. Then on July 20th, enjoy the incredible Miranda Lambert live in concert. And on August 9th, Jason Mraz and the Super Band are set to deliver an unforgettable performance. And don't miss this Live Nation lineup. On August 4th, experience the legendary Outlaw Music Festival at Toyota Amphitheater featuring Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. Then on August 15th, catch the iconic Donny Osmond at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. And on August 22nd, don't miss Creed Fisher rocking the stage at Ace of Spades. Finally, on September 10th, the Doobie Brothers bring their timeless hits to the Toyota Amphitheater. For all your ticketing information, head over to livenation.com. These are the shows you won't want to miss, so grab your tickets now. And stay tuned to Sactown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
If you've been on the American River, it's uphill, it's downhill. There's trails everywhere that you can walk, and it just makes you happy. And I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. I was turning into a real crab. I went to the Good Feet store, and I tried on the arch supports. I could not believe that I was not in pain. I can walk, I can run, I can jump, I can do anything. My name's Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sacramento, giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We always look forward to catching up with our next guest here, but it will take us a minute to get through his accomplishments. We can't go through all of them, don't have time, but Basketball Hall of Famer, an NBA champ, an ABA champ, 5 times first team All-NBA, 4 times first team All-ABA, MVP of the 75 finals in just a moment. The great Rick Barry going to be joining us, Stripes.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some of his numbers, man. It's just ridiculous what he was able to accomplish. In 794 NBA games, he averaged 23.2, but in 226 ABA games, 30.5%. 30.5 points per game. You know, he was the rookie of the year, an all-star his rookie year as well. I mean, think about this. We've seen great rookies come into the league before. Rick Barry, his rookie season, 25.7 points, 10.6 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's unheard of for a rookie.
Right.
That's better than Shaq, LeBron. Like, this dude came in averaging 26 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable career, the great Rick Barry.
Yeah, I remember watching he and Cliff Ray.
Yeah, Clifford Ray.
Warriors when they won the championship, and they ran the pick and roll about as well as anybody I've ever seen run the pick and roll. Somebody on Twitter corrected the station's tweet. The station tweeted basketball great Rick Barry going to join us, and Dr. Strong on Twitter says basketball legend, correction, bench mob dad. Of course, John Barry was a very popular member of the bench mob.
John Barry, Brent Barry as well, you know, having 2 kids.
Scooter.
Playing Scooter Barry, and, you know, playing the association. And the thing about Rick Barry, too, and he's sort of like the OG Del Curry, meaning, you know, imagine learning basketball from one of the all-time greats. He was a great shooter in his time as well. And then you see how his kids turned out. I mean, that's like having, you know, Picasso teaching you how to paint. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mozart teaching you how to compose. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rick Barry teaching you how to play basketball.
Did you know that his son Canyon, and we'll ask him about this when he comes on, Rick Barry's son Canyon Barry is on the Olympic 3-on-3 team.
Is he really?
And he also has a master's degree in nuclear engineering.
Who, his son does?
Yes.
Really? Nuclear engineering? And he's a hooper?
And he's an Olympian.
Right. That's what he checks all the boxes, right? Gold medal and nuclear engineer. Maybe the first ever, right? Like nobody has that combination. You know, like
I think you're right. Unique combination of skills, and of course, famous for, among other things, the underhand free throw, the granny style free throw, and he was deadly with those.
Unbelievable with it. And you know, I haven't heard the story about why he shot that way. I'm sure it's been told 1,000 times, but I got to ask him about that and just what made him go that route in shooting. And shooting it that way.
That's a good question.
Didn't Will try that too, right?
Believe he did. I was going to mention that. Yeah,
right?
I think he did it for a while.
Yeah.
And, you know, Rick has, for years, he's been saying for anybody that couldn't shoot free throws, he said, I will help him, whoever it is, Shaq, whoever. I'll show him this is easy to do. I will help you learn how to make more free throws, but no one wants to take him up on it, supposedly because, you know, it doesn't look good. But I would think now, in the age of social media, somebody would want to do that, and that you stand out. Right, you can make them, and all of a sudden
you go viral.
You become known for that. Yeah.
Will you ask him about his all-time greats and where Wilt fits in? Is Wilt number 6? Like he would be a guy that knows, right?
Well, yeah. I think they were
teammates.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
You okay with approaching that subject, or you're afraid you might be proven wrong? So.
Well, I know you're asking, can I make fun of you?
Right, exactly.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, bring it up if you want, but I know we were going to talk about this at some point. John Stockton just said some interesting things on that. Did you see that?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
He spoke to that, and one of the things John Stockton said was, I hate when people ask me this. So that was the only reason why I'd steer clear of it, and maybe I'm wrong, but, you know, these guys get that all the time. And Rick loves basketball, so probably he'd love talking about it, but John Stockton, we'll get to that, had some really...
Yeah, we don't. I don't need to know if LeBron or Jordan is number 1. I just want to know where you got Wilt Chamberlain. That's all I need. And I'm looking at his... I don't think they played together. I think Wilt was not on
left the Warriors?
Yeah, Wilt had left the Warriors right before, it looks like. Yeah. Darn. Can you imagine that team? Wilt and Rick Barry on the same squad?
Yeah.
Wilt, I think, had went to LA by then.
When did Rick Barry start, though? He started with the Warriors in
65, 66, the San Francisco Warriors.
See, I think wasn't Wilt there at the very
according to this? No. Yeah, that's I thought they would have played 1 or 2 seasons together. Let me look at Wilt's card, but according to Basketball Reference, no, Wilt played. Oh, he went back to Philly. In
I know he played against them a lot.
Yeah, 64, 65 was his final season at San Francisco.
Here's what as we're still waiting to get Rick Barry. Here's what John Stockton had to say about this. He said somebody asked him about LeBron, Michael Jordan, Kobe. So he said, well, this is John Stockton, I wouldn't use those 3. Some of those 3 or one of those 3 wouldn't be even in my top 5. I hate that question. I get asked it all the time. Who are you guys? Who is anybody to say, well, it's either of those 3? So John Stockton says, and by the way, this was on, let me see where this was. I'll find it somewhere where he talked about this. He said, Wilt Chamberlain, they changed the rules to negate how dominant he was. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, leading scorer and shot blocker in the history of the game for 40 years, is it? Now, I know LeBron passed him and things like that, but he passed him with 3-point lines and change of rules. There's so many guys that I would put in that handful first 5, and I'm not certain that the guys that are suggested are always the ones that I would put in there with them, said John Stockton.
John Stockton. Who's the guy that he's talking about, though?
I think he's talking about Kobe, but who knows? So? He could be talking about Michael because Michael kicked his ass.
I didn't think about that. I thought he was probably talking about LeBron.
Could
be. Maybe I'm wrong. But hey, I don't disagree with him with having Wilt up there at the top, and Kareem. I feel like Kareem is often not mentioned enough of the game's all-time greats.
That. Yeah, this was, by the way, via Odds Shark Sports. So John Stockton sounds a little annoyed by the whole thing. He sounds annoyed by the fact that so many people just assume it's one of those 3 people. I'll tell you this. Who the greatest is, the greatest of all time, to me, Kobe does not belong in that discussion.
I know you're a Kobe hater.
No.
Basketball-wise.
No. Do you really think he could be the greatest player ever?
I don't think he is.
Yeah, see, I'm just saying he doesn't belong.
Is he top 10?
He's probably not my top 10, but I could understand why someone would have him. That's not my point, though. My point is,
I'm not going to argue that with you right now.
There's no way he should be like one of the top 3.
Here's the thing about Kobe that I think people forget, including you, my friend. Kobe was an assassin on the defensive end. Also. Look at his defensive accolades, if you will. And so was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, several times all defense. But when you look at Kobe Bryant, his resume, 5-time champ, 18-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA.
Right. See, you're making it sound like I'm saying he's terrible.
Defense.
I'm not saying he's terrible. I'm just saying there's no way Kobe is one of the top 3 players of all time. That's what I'm saying.
How about
you agree with that or disagree?
I say, and I'm going to make a point. Yes, I agree with that.
Okay.
But I could argue he has a top 3 resume of all time. Like, his resume is pretty impressive, Whitey. Like,
well, if his resume is top 3, then why isn't he top 3?
Because I'm a Magic Johnson fan. I love Magic. Magic will always be in my top 3. LeBron, I like LeBron. LeBron to me can do everything on the basketball court. But Kobe, 18-time All-Star, 15 times All-NBA. And All-NBA ain't a popularity contest, Whitey. All-Star game is popularity. Fan vote and everything like that.
Right.
But 15 All-NBA, 12-time All-Defense? Those are some pretty great accomplishments. I got him in my top 10. I do have him in my top 10.
Yeah. I don't know whether I would or not. And that's what I told you. I said, I don't know.
Because you had Durant ahead of him, right?
I did.
You still do or no?
No, because Durant's hurt right now. And he didn't play last night.
Durant getting the Will Chamberlain treatment. It's like, wake up one day. Nah, I gotta push you down.
Available.
No, I think Kobe, and to John Stockton's point, it's hard to narrow this down because the more players that come into the league and the more years go by, some of the older guys, they become farther out of mind. And how it is too. A lot of times, when you talk about all-time greats, we're sort of biased to our childhood or our favorite era of basketball. You ask a 20-something-year-old right now, all-time great is Kobe in the top 5. They say without a doubt, 100%. But, you ask our parents, my mom, my dad, they got Wilt. They got Bill Russell. They got Oscar Robertson, because that was their era, and I think but you and I feel like we do a very good job of looking back at all eras of basketball and been pretty objective about it.
Here's why I think the answer is LeBron. And he's not my favorite.
Okay.
Not close to that. But you know how we always say when we do this, it's so hard to compare eras because it's true. Everyone says that, right?
Yep.
It was a different game. I honestly feel like LeBron would be a great player in any era, anything that we've had so far.
Right.
Because he could play a physical style if he needed to. Obviously, the brand of basketball we have now, he excels. He's so big and so talented. I don't think that any era or any rules would really hinder him that much.
Yeah, and some people say, the physicality of the 80s and 90s, would, hurt LeBron. I think he'd adapt.
I do too.
I think, and we've seen players try to be physical with him, and he sort of adapts and puts on this little alter ego kind of personality. I mean, whether it was Lance Stevenson, Dylan Brooks, whoever it is, they try to get physical with him, and LeBron seems to play through that.
Jay, what's the deal with Rick? Are we still trying to get him?
Efforting?
It was still. He told me he needed a minute, so
all right, gotcha.
He's in San Francisco at the moment, so we're just waiting on the legend.
Okay,
yeah. So the legendary Rick Barry joining us. Also, we'll look at Team USA's clubbing of Canada last night as the drive guys continue on Sactown Sports.
Ooh, ma.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Legendary Hall of Famer Rick Barry scheduled to join us here in just a moment. And Drapes, I thought you made a great point earlier when we were first mentioning that Rick Barry was going to be joining us. And you said he's overlooked when people talk about the greats of all time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time, but he's an outstanding player, one of the best forwards of all time, maybe the best passing forward of all time.
No, you're right about that. When you look at, some of his numbers, to be able to score at the elite level that he did, because you talked about one of the great passers, but he was also one of the great scorers of his time. And then the rebound at that high of a level as well. When you look at some of his numbers, rookie year in the NBA, 10.6 rebounds, second year, 9.2. Then he went to the ABA, 9.4. And then as he, got older, he didn't rebound as much, but this guy could do it all multiple levels. You're right, man. MVP caliber kind of guy, rookie of the year. He's tremendous. Nobody talks about him really anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Rick Barry should be joining us as we continue to wait to see what the Kings might be doing. Do they need to add somebody? I think we agree the Kings really need to add some length if that's at all possible. They need to add some size, and ideally you could plug somebody into the front court, move DeMar DeRozan to his more natural position as the off guard. Then you've really made strides this offseason.
Yeah, I think so. And you become a deep team too. Like, let's say you pick up that forward you're talking about, move DeMar. Now you got Kevin Huerter, Keon Ellis, Malik, Trey Lyles, Alex Len, and I'm sure I'm forgetting Devin Carter when he's healthy. Now you can go 10, 11 deep, and I thought that was one of the issue the Kings really struggled with last season is, they were top heavy, meaning, 6 or 7 guys Mike could count on, but then other guys, it was one night it was Chris Duarte, one night it was Davion, one night it was Kessler Edwards, guys were just in and out. One night it was Sasha. And so they just couldn't settle in a rotation, an 8-man. I'm going to count on these 8-9 guys every single night.
Mm-hmm. We're also, of course, digesting the news that we just found out this afternoon that Devin Carter had a surgery. He's going to be out for at least 6 months. And 6 months when they're going to reevaluate.
Yeah. And, it's July, 11th right now. 6 months takes us to January 11th. Like, if he's going to be reevaluated, that means he's not shooting for 6 months, because it's torn labrum in the shoulder. And so it's probably going to take him at least a month to get up to speed after that. So I'm looking at after All-Star break for Devin Carter, which is a huge blow. I mean, we were excited for this guy. Everybody across the nation, all the pundits said the Kings got the pick right. And now we got a guy that's probably going to miss the first 3-4 months of the season.
I was thinking when they signed Jordan McLaughlin, then maybe that was because they were looking for someone to be the next Davion or to do what Davion did. But maybe they also were looking at somebody because they knew that they were going to be without Devin Carter for a while as well.
Yeah,
must have had an idea.
Maybe some insurance at the guard position. You're right. And that's a huge blow, man, because, I got a buddy that works in Providence, said we were going to love, Devin Carter. And so,
6 months?
I know it's 6 months.
Whole career here.
Can I go back to something real quick, Whitey? Because this just pissed me off.
Yes.
I don't get pissed off often.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm a humble, mild-mannered kind of guy. But I just came across a text from the 916.
And this put their name on it?
No. They did not put their name on it. Oh, man. And I guarantee you, whoever texted us this is probably under the age of 30 or 35. He says, quote, this is from the 916, Magic can't shoot, barely plays any defense, could not hit a free throw to save his life, and you guys are putting him over Kobe. Watch some NBA Classic games and watch Magic. He isn't as good as you remember him. I guarantee that's from somebody
25 and under.
25 and under. Magic Johnson, a career 86% free throw shooter, couldn't hit free throws for his life.
He had a higher percentage than Kobe.
Magic Johnson, who shot 38.4% from three his second to last full year in the league, can't shoot. And look at Magic's career three-point percentage. And remember, they didn't shoot him. Like, he didn't shoot more than one a game until 88, 89. And that he took 2.4. But over his career, he made 38% of his threes. See, this is a kid that's watching grainy video at home, not in HD, and thinks just because the game moves slower and it looks different that they couldn't play. Put your name on it next time so I could call this guy out. To say that about Magic Johnson, Magic can't shoot, barely plays any defense, and could not hit a free throw. The could not hit a free throw thing shows you that they don't know what they're talking about. It's just wrong, right? I agree.
The thing about Magic, there was time early in his career where he couldn't shoot, but he turned himself into a really good shooter.
And you had to pay attention to him.
Recognized that.
Right.
But it was true maybe of early Magic, and he overcame that, of course, even then. But he adapted, and he learned to become a better shooter.
You know what this
How many
is?
times did he win the MVP award?
Magic was a 5-time MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 10-time All-NBA. No, 3-time MVP, excuse me. 10-time All-NBA, 12-time All-Star.
Right?
Yeah, 5-time champ, 3 times Finals MVP. But here's the thing about this argument, because this texter is arguing with people who saw it live. If you didn't see it live, you may have to bow out on this one and defer to your elders, young fella, because you're totally wrong. Magic couldn't shoot free throws. I just showed you the dude shot 86 for his career.
That has to be somebody who's coming after you who's trolling you.
No, they're not trolling me. I hope he texts it. Call in 916-339 because I need to hear who this person is. I need to know his background. Is he 25 on 2K, and just because Magic not hitting threes in NBA 2K, all of a sudden he can't shoot? Because kids do that. Like, kids think that 2K is actually real life, and it's not. You know, like my son. He was playing with a 99 Bill Russell the other day.
Oh, okay.
And Bill Russell was getting beat on defense. He's like, Dad, Bill Russell was terrible at defense. Look at this. He can't even stop this guy. And I'm like, Nick, calm down. Big 2K is not real life.
Who was he guarding? Was it somebody like the mixed eras thing?
Yeah, it was like somebody from, I think it was Russell Westbrook or something like that. I'm just like, dude, you can't take with 2K and think that's real life. You got to watch the games, man. You had to be there.
Mm-hmm. One of the first times I ever played that game, my brother-in-law was the 96 Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, I'll be the 72 Lakers. Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West.
Yeah, great
I got
team.
destroyed. I had no chance. And I was like, what is wrong with this game?
Right. You're like, why is Wilt running so slow? Wilt was so athletic back in the day, but in 2K, in those video games, another text here from the 209. OMG, my kid said the same stuff to me. He's 26. I base all point guards off of him. That's why I judge Fox so hard, talking about Magic Johnson. Magic was the best point guard, period.
I don't understand why. Okay, I'm a young person, you favor what you saw. I get that, of course. But why people would be criticizing Magic Johnson? Why?
No, because they're Kobe stans. You heard the term. Yeah. Kobe stans, LeBron stans. It's to pump up.
He's got to be the greatest Laker.
Yeah, got to be the greatest Laker. To pump up your guy, you put down others. You can't just say, here's Kobe's accomplishments. That's why he's great. You got to say Kobe's great and Magic's not. Let me tell you a quick story. I was in Vegas, not Vegas, New Orleans, with a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink, right? I don't drink. So we're in the bar talking to some ladies. This is, a short time ago. And he was the type that would try to put me down to make himself look better. Of course, I had to come to New Orleans with the only guy that doesn't drink. I haven't talked to him since, but that's what the Kobe's argument is. It's like, and I love Kobe. I think he is an all-time great, but you don't have to put Magic down to make Kobe great,
Besides, Magic's one of those guys, you really can't put him down.
Really can't. I mean, You know, and the thing about Magic too, what year was it? 80 when he turned the ball over, dribbled out the clock.
That was 84.
84. And the Celtics won the championship. He bounced back from that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, he did.
He bounced back, 85. Then in 87 with the hook, I mean, he bounced back and he made himself, to your point, a better shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Magic changed the game, man. He's a top 5 all time in my book.
I was going to ask you who's the greatest Laker, but we don't care about the Lakers here. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Who is the greatest Laker?
Who cares?
Who is?
Who cares, right, Jay?
Magic.
Oh,
it's Magic.
It's Magic. I'm with you on that too.
As much as Kareem, it's him or Kareem, right? You argue him or Kareem.
I think so.
But Magic was a Laker the whole time.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
What about Kobe though?
Yeah,
is he third? Kobe. Probably. No, he might be second,
or it could be Jerry West, but they didn't win.
They didn't win.
Once.
No. Yeah, they didn't win.
It's not LeBron is like not even in the conversation.
LeBron. It's not. Lakers have had. I mean, Wilt. They had Jerry West, Elgin Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
Could Elgin Baylor be in that conversation, even though he didn't win?
Nobody remembers him.
Nobody remembers him.
I know who he was, but I can't say I really remember him that well. Are there any names left on Jay's wheel here as we continue to examine where the Kings are taking this offseason? That's coming up with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
18 number ones. What was I thinking? Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart and more, plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by Bonnie Electrical Heating and Air and the U.S. Marines.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Legend says that golf courses are made up of 18 holes because it took exactly 18 shots to finish a fifth of scotch, a shot per hole. As it turns out, the 18-hole limit came to be somewhat accidentally. In truth, there was no standard number of holes on a course. In the beginning, it might have been 11, 23, 15, or 7. St. Andrews, for example, had 22 holes until 1764 when 4 were merged to make it an 18-hole course. The exact date when 18 holes became the standard is a bit sketchy, but according to the British Golf Museum, the R&A issued new rules for its members in 1858, and Rule 1 stated, 1 round of the links or 18 holes is reckoned a match unless otherwise stipulated. We can only presume that this was slowly adopted throughout Britain. By the 1870s, more courses had 18 holes, and a round of golf was being accepted as consisting of 18 holes. Maybe not as romantic as the story of the bottle of scotch, but the truth is always stranger than fiction. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of innovative, newly designed tires, like the Bigfoot AT2 with improved all-terrain traction, and the Legacy All-Season Plus that keeps you on the road in any weather, with every set backed by our ProTech Plus warranty.
And right now, get $80 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Now through July 28th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. No carryouts, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach. Kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Legendary Rick Barry should be joining us. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's talk to Paul. Paul's been hanging on here. Paul, you're on with the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports. What's going on today? How are you? Paul? Have we lost Paul? Is anything real in the world anymore?
Paul?
Hey,
Oh,
Paul?
man.
Yeah, all right. Gone. Paul is gone. Did you you said you watched the Olympics?
Yes.
The team basketball against Canada. Were you disappointed that it was such a rough night for your guy Dylan Brooks?
No, not at all. Not at all. He's one of those guys. If he's on your team, you love him. If he's not, you hate him. You know, and like you would think a nice little friendly yesterday, you know, NBA guys getting together, things would be okay, you know. But like him and LeBron were going at it.
Oh yeah.
Like even in just a friendly basketball game, like there is some animosity there. The hate is there, real.
Just that
between
nasty
those two.
stuff like bumping into each
Right,
other on
yeah.
an inbounds play before the ball's even
Yes,
in.
yes, and I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, he's an agitator, and you know, my guy Tony Jones, friend of the show, tweeted out. He had a funny tweet about Dylan Brooks. He said, if you're playing a Dylan Brooks team, all you got to do is wait till he loses his mind and then shoots his team out of the game. Basically, and that's what happened. You know, Dylan Brooks.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. You won't listen.
No, but on the right squad, and let's not forget, he was a key member of that Memphis team when they were good. And then, you know, obviously his last year didn't work out for him. But before Desmond Bane came along, Dylan Brooks and Ja Morant were the backcourt that everybody was talking about. And so I still would like that guy.
Mm-hmm. What about Houston? How much do they scare you? They don't scare me as much as Memphis scares me.
Houston scares me because I look at Houston in the vein of New Orleans. Not as good defensively, but I think they play with a swagger. And it starts with their head coach, Ime Udoka. We saw it last year. Houston punked us.
Mm-hmm.
They beat up on us. You know, they kicked our butts. And so, you know, when a team walks into your building or walks into a building, walks onto a floor, and they know in their mind they are better than you, they're going to impose their will on you, that scares me, man. And I'm hoping now with DeMar DeRozan, you know, we won't have that kind of, you know, deer in the headlights look when we go against teams like that. But no, I think they're going to be a play-in team. Somebody's going to be on the outside looking in. I think Houston's going to make some strides this year.
Remember, that was when we first started thinking about this Kings team, last year's team, as being maybe not everything we thought, was when they had that they played us 2 games in Houston.
In Houston, yeah.
I remember when you came back, you were not happy. They got destroyed.
They got destroyed. They got punked. And, you know, and remember, I think I called into the show, you know, because I told you guys, I don't think it's going to go that well here because we traveled, landed, and I was gassed, jet lagged, and they went right to practice.
I remember you said that. Yes, I do.
I was like, man, I don't believe they're going to go practice right now. And they went to practice, came out the next day and was flat.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, see, you know, hopefully a day off in between games, they'll get back out there and be right. And it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a bad trip, man. That was one of the worst trips of the season. You know, people would say, oh, Houston, great city And it is,
That's
but
not the trip where you lost your wallet, though.
No. That was LA. That was LA. What? That was a fun trip until I lost my wallet. Yeah, anytime I go to LA, it's fun. But with Houston, the location we were staying in, it wasn't walkable. You didn't have bars and clubs and everything. Like you had to Uber a lot of different places. And our team got our butts kicked. So it was a tough trip down there.
The year before, the Kings had the light to beam year, and they almost beat the Warriors, and Houston had been terrible. So that was really a rude awakening, those two games, because wait, Houston's terrible, and the Kings, they're supposed to be better than they were last year.
Right.
So what's going on here?
And remember, it was when Şengün got the best of Sabonis, too. Remember? And we're like, what's going on here? Because De'Aaron Fox was out those games. Let's not forget that, those first two games in Houston, if I'm correct. But, Şengün was, having his way with our boy Domantas Sabonis. Van Vliet was killing us. It just was a bad. Jalen Green was looking fantastic. And it was a bad matchup for us. And, to JaVale McGee's point when he was on here with us, when he talked about we have too many nice guys, that's a game and a team that I look at and say, yep, he's right. We were too nice. In that. Same thing with the New Orleans Pelicans. We're too nice. HB, the senator, great guy. We want your daughter to marry him, stand-up dude. But, man, they were soft down there. So hopefully DeMar DeRozan comes in, adds a little more edge. Hopefully they get somebody else, adds a little more edge so that these teams can't punk us like that anymore.
I don't know if there's any more names left on your wheel, Jay.
Always.
Though I don't know if he's on the wheel, but one guy to Drape's point that I'd be all in on right now, I'd be calling. Can we work something out? Is beef stew.
You all in on Isaiah Stew.
Yeah.
Don't let the nickname fool you, Whitey.
Just because it's beef stew is he wanted to kill LeBron. You say you want somebody with that edge, and I'm telling you, there's a guy who brings that edge and also fits you positionally. Am I wrong?
Here's the thing.
You don't like to admit when I'm right.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. The thing about beef stew,
in between.
Give me one memorable thing beef stew has ever done except go at LeBron.
Well, he plays well. Their game, no one watches their game. So
that's what I'm saying. He's first of all, they're not going to trade him. He's not going to be traded. He's on a great contract, $15 million a year. That's chump change.
Just got Paul Reed.
Yeah, but now they got a three-headed monster at the position. Jalen Duren, Paul Reed, and Beef Stew. And I like Beef Stew. I'm with you on that. But all of a sudden, this guy, you're turning Beef Stew into Charles Oakley out there. Beef Stew had one incident. Are they? He had one incident with LeBron James. Let me look up Beef Stew real quick. Let me because I think we're all of a sudden.
Are you saying he's soft?
All I'm saying is right now he seems to be the flavor of the month, the flavor of the week.
Because we think he might be available. You're correct. Maybe he's not. He would be what the Kings need. And you talk a lot about it. They need that toughness. Well, there's a guy who's tough. No, all he did was that one time.
But is he really tough, though? He lost his mind at that point. Like, that's not toughness to me. The dude was a wild maniac. Like, I need to see the toughness day in and day out. Mm-hmm. When we played them, did Beef Stew ever do anything memorable when we played Detroit?
Those games are hard to remember.
I don't know.
They beat us.
One of them. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you know what I remember from those games? I remember Jalen Duren getting cooked by Sabonis. I remember that. I remember, them beating us. I remember that. But I don't remember Beef Stew having so he didn't. So one game he didn't dress against us. Hold on, I'm just looking here, Whitey. I'm bringing up his game log. And then the second game he was inactive, probably hurt as well. Like I don't know if let's say his nickname was Ice Cream Stew. Would we be thinking that he's a tough, hard-nosed, but because it's Beef Stew, you're like, that's exactly what we need.
Sherbert Stew.
Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Softy Stew or something like that.
You can call that if you want. But he earned the nick. What do you think? They just, stew, Beef Stew.
He might have been beefy as a kid. Like, we don't, but that's what I'm saying. We got the one video of him going at LeBron like a madman. No.
You're implying that he's never done anything and he's not really a tough guy just because he got mad at LeBron.
No, I'm saying
he's got a reputation.
I don't
that's
know
undeserved.
if he is a tough. I don't know. I just don't know.
That would be the least of your problems. If you brought him in, whether he's really tough or not, would be the least of your worries. I don't think you have to worry about that.
Who's a better player? John Collins or Beef Stew? That is not even a debate, Whitey. That's not even a debate.
Then why isn't everybody
That's not
knocking
even
on
a
Danny
debate.
Ainge's door? Give me John Collins. You don't want him? I'll
That's
take
not
him.
even a
If he's that
debate.
good.
It might be
I didn't
contract.
answer.
It might be contract. $20-some million. It might be if John Collins was
$27 million, it should be a bargain for that guy. With
If
those
John
numbers.
Collins was a $15 million player, teams would be dying to get the guy. I don't know, man. The Beef Stew's solid. He's a good player.
That's all I'm
But
saying.
yeah,
I'm not
all of a
saying
sudden,
he's the
this guy
greatest player ever.
is Dennis Rodman coming to the Bulls and going to help win championships and all that. Like
he fits what you need, and he could be available.
All right.
You're the one that talks about the toughness.
No, but I just know how you are, though, man. It's like, first it was Jeremy Grant. Remember
Jeremy
that?
Grant would be a good when he
was your guy for a while.
Yeah.
Then you cooled off a little bit on him. Now I feel like Beef Stew is your guy.
He's one of them. He'd be a good fit, a power forward. That's what they need.
All right. Family Slagle. What if his nickname was Lentil Stew? Like, would he still fit this?
I would hate to be the person that nicknamed him that.
Right.
I wouldn't want to
Kings
tell
Fan
him, hey,
Dan.
guess what I just nicknamed you?
Lentil
he
Stew.
would knock you out.
Kings Fan Dan. I heard that Isaiah Stewart loved Dinty Moore as a kid. Maybe that's how he got the Beef Stew.
That could be.
Maybe. I'm just saying.
Be.
I'm just saying.
So John Collins or Beef
Or
Stew.
Beef Stew.
Sorry,
it's hard to be. You were high on him though. You still are Beef Stew. Like
yes.
No, but I hear you. I hear you. Getting somebody of that ilk, even doesn't have to be a enforcer, but a rebounder, a strong rebounder, a guy that can score. Beef Stew checks that box.
The odd thing is, you mentioned Oakley or
Oakley.
And there was a time when, I think I might have said this yesterday. We were talking about the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers. They got like Kurt Rambis, and they're playing against the Sixers, and they got a guy, Mark Ivarone. It's like, you just rebound and set screens. That's all you have to do. And nowadays, it's, okay, you got to rebound, set screens, but you have to be able to make a three also.
You got to shoot too. Yeah, you got to do it all.
I mean, your guy especially, he's a good shooter. John Collins is a really good shooter.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a Collins fan. I was a fan of his in Atlanta. That situation was a dumpster fire. Utah's not trying to win. And so that's how I feel, if in the right situation, Collins as your fifth option could be a solid player.
The problem with him is it's like that old basketball saying, which is not one of my favorite sayings, but it is a saying. He plays like he thinks defense is what goes around the yard.
Oh, defense.
Yeah, that's how he plays. When we come back, Rick Barry, hopefully, right?
Hopefully, still efforting.
Rick Barry's probably mad because whoever, and it wasn't Jay, whoever tweeted that he was coming on misspelled his name.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like,
Berry. Can't do that. A Hall of Famer,
I'll
an
let
all-time
those
great.
guys wait out a little bit. Yeah, and we'll see what the names are left, what names are left, I should say, on Jay's wheel. When we come back, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 special. Rock it into the night. Friday, July 19th at 7:30 at the venue at Thunder Valley. With Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss 38 Special Live.
I'm a very active person that likes to move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. It was actually debilitating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet Store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spas' Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what you doing for Chrysler's Make This the Summer Sales event?
Well, this month we have something special that only happens once a year. Big savings on one of America's most capable minivans. Right now you can save up to $17,000 off MSRP on all remaining 23 Chrysler Pacifica hybrids, and that's on all trims.
Now, you said Chrysler Pacifica hybrids. Those things get 82 miles per gallon E with gas prices so high and $17,000 off MSRP. That's a no-brainer.
And a deal like this only happens once a year, so this is the time to take advantage of this savings at the dealership and at the pump.
The savings won't last long. Stop by Hoblet Dodge for a test drive today or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$17,000 total net savings after $7,500 factory rebates and $9,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $7,500 federal EV tax credit offered by a third party and subject to change. Consult a tax professional for details and eligibility. 82 MPGE combined city highway rating based on fueleconomy.gov EPA rating. Send this net savings while supplies last. See dealer for details.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Just talking about possible options for the Kings at the power forward spot. I mentioned Isaiah Stewart. Drape says he's not really a tough guy. Well, he went after LeBron once. I found here the Peach Basket. We have a list here, Isaiah Stewart's notable altercations. Draymond Green's on there. LeBron. Gilbert Arenas. Kings fans would love Isaiah Stewart. He went after Gilbert Arenas once.
What, did he?
Yes.
Was Arenas even in the league?
Arenas accused Stewart of getting crazy when his teammates surrounded him on LeBron. So Stewart saw Arenas in Tacoma, where Isaiah Thomas held his annual Zeke basketball tournament. Stewart approached Arenas and said, "I don't have my teammates around me now." And yeah.
Oh, so he's real life, about that life.
Yes.
Huh? On the court and off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drew Eubanks. This one may land Stewart some long-term trouble. He was out with an ankle injury. Stewart and Eubanks came together in the tunnel of the Footprint Center. Words were exchanged. Stewart punched Eubanks in the mouth and bloodied his lip.
Now that might be going a little too far.
It might be, but I think we can say he's a tough guy.
All right, let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
Should we get Draymond Green? Would he be a good fit?
You can't get Draymond Green.
No, I'm just saying.
I think you said he would be a good fit.
Last year, last offseason, I think Draymond, as I look at it, I'd want a little more size. But from a basketball IQ standpoint and playing alongside Domas, another facilitator, it works. But I think we need a little more rebounding and length.
So you asked me if Draymond Green would be a good fit here. Let me just take the goalposts and put them back where they were.
No, I like to move things.
The question was, we were talking about, is he a tough guy? Doesn't mean the Kings should get him, but is he a tough guy, or did he just one time get into it with LeBron? He's a tough guy.
Okay, he's a tough guy. He's a tough
maybe
guy.
Too tough.
Maybe too tough, right? That's that's the thing. It's like, maybe who does he remind me of? Oh man. Shoot. Draymond to an extent. When you look at some of the Draymond whacking what's his name in the face? Nurkic in the face.
But this guy will go after people in the tunnel.
Right.
And at airports.
I don't know if see what we need, Whitey, is we need toughness up to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll toe the line,
get up to the edge,
and then cross the line.
Uh-huh.
But no, I guess he is beef stew. It wasn't because of Denty Moore.
You can call him Sherbert Stew the next time you see him.
What if his nickname is Beef Stew because he likes beef? Like he likes to fight. He likes to mix it up. He's all about that smoke.
I think
smoke stew.
I think
that's probably
that's it.
Man,
yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, Jay, do you have any more names left on your wheel?
I guess so.
What happened to all the names here? They're all gone. A lot of names are gone now.
Yeah, they are, but that's okay. There's still a few of them that's left.
Uh-huh.
We'll start with someone that Drapes may be a little familiar. We shoot up to Oregon and look at Robert Williams.
Time Lord.
Are you in or are you out? We'll start with Drapes since you're familiar with them. With the Time Lord, Robert Williams.
I'm out.
You out?
You know, Whitey's probably surprised I said that, but he's just too injury prone. Like, if he could stay healthy, I'm all in on him. But he's just way too injury prone. He just, we looked at it yesterday, I think it was, Jay. 35 games last year, 61 games, 52, 29, 32. Like, this guy just never plays. You know, we talk so much about Levine's injury, Ingram's, all these other. This guy is hurt every single year.
What does he make now, Drapes?
Contract-wise?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up. Got it right here. Robert Williams, according to Basketball Reference, only going to make 12.4 next season, this upcoming season. And then the season after that, 13.28. So you got him under control for 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
If he was healthy, yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if he's going to be healthy.
Yeah, I'm in. I would normally be out, but if Drapes is out, and that's one of his guys. At what you mentioned, he's not a free agent, though, is he?
No. This would have to be by way of trade.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have to give up a whole lot.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Right. So I'm going to talk to Portland. I'm going to pretend I want Jeremy Grant. We're going to talk about things, and I know it's going nowhere. Then I'm going to go, hey, well, that was great. We tried. Hey, by the way, what about Time Lord? That's the guy.
All right. Oh, yeah. What about this guy over here?
As long as it checks out, as long as that, you got to do the medicals. If there's any chance that he can still get better. I'm in, Jay. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm out. Just based on the injuries, I'm with you, Drapes. I think he is the prototypical guy the Kings are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs to play a little more. So yeah. I'm with both of you guys.
The cool thing about him, Jay, is that go ahead.
No.
The cool thing about him is that in the finals against the Warriors, he played when he probably shouldn't have. He was hurt, but he wanted to win,
to get out there.
So he played and might have made it worse.
Yeah, that's true. Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
What's going on with them Celtics over there, Drake?
I don't know, man. Medicals.
A little shaky. Fellas. Okay. We're right there.
Okay.
Fellas, this is someone that has been around the league, seems like forever. He's been a former All-Star, hasn't been that talented, I guess, as of late, but people keep taking flyers. We're going with Gordon Hayward.
Nope, I'm out.
Jeez.
Man, let me say that. Can I get his name out? Disrespectful.
Yeah.
You're out, Whitey.
He's done. He's finished. He's washed. He was an excellent player, great player. He would have been a great fit, but he's just done. He's washed.
I'm out. I actually like Gordon Hayward a lot.
Me too.
I like him. I like his family. Good dude. But it's not a position of need right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's not who we need right now. You know, what he would become is a backup to the backup 3-man, basically, or a backup 3. 15 minutes a night. I don't think
he'd be unhappy with that. And that would be an issue.
Yeah. I don't think, and you talk about a guy that, doesn't play games. Look at his last, few seasons ever since that catastrophic injury opening night with the Celtics. 51 games this past season, 50 games the season before, 49, 44, 52. Like, he plays about 50% of the season, 55% of the season. Yeah. So I'm out on Gordon.
The main reason I'm out on him is because of that gender reveal that he did when it turned out that they were having a girl, and he was so disappointed.
I don't remember that.
That's awful.
That was like his 4th daughter, though.
What? I don't care.
Okay.
Why you got?
He's in on beef stew, punching dudes out in the tunnel.
But have a pro-am game.
You're having a child. You're lucky you're having a child.
I did like the meatballs at the
girl
baby shower.
Yeah. All right. Who else you got, Jay?
It's cold blood, Whitey. All right, we look at the wheel, fellas. Okay, I see this one.
That's right on the edge.
Former
right
Milwaukee Buck. Seems like he's chasing a championship.
This is my guy.
Okay, we'll go your way, Drapes. We're talking about Mr. Chowder, Jay Crowder.
I like Jay Crowder. We talk about a guy that plays with some toughness. That's a locker room presence. I'm not saying Jay Crowder's the answer at 30 minutes a game, but he could play some 3, some small ball 4, a championship level pedigree. I'm in on Jay Crowder, not as my 6th man or anything like that, but he could be a 10 to 15 minute a night kind of guy, I think.
You knew him in Boston? Did you know him?
Yeah, know him in Boston, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know him, so I can't speak to him that way, but I'm out because he held the Suns he held hostage, right? After they went to the finals.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't happy.
There was something, I don't know what happened there.
And then so it's like, all right, we won't play you, but we'll try to trade you. And to me, he's a really good player. He's not good enough to hold a franchise hostage. And for him to do that after that, it's like, I don't know what the thing was there, but I need you to be a guy who's tough buckaroo, as Jerry Reynolds called him once. And for him to sit out like that soured me on Jay Crowder. Wish him the best. Don't want him on my team.
Hold up.
Need leadership from a veteran player.
That was like 2-3 seasons ago.
I left a mark. In my mind, that's a
I know, right?
That's a black mark on his resume. That was bad.
That was, but clearly something was amiss in Phoenix. They fired Monty Williams after that too. Remember that? It's remember
after the season
the season was over. Like there were some things going on behind the scenes that just
weren't
right.
With Sarver and stuff. The previous
owner?
I'm
just not even Sarver. I'm just talking about the chemistry in that building, that locker room. Something was off. Something was amiss. And Jay was pissed off about something. I don't know what it was. He never told me, but he was unhappy. But in Milwaukee, played 50 games this past season, started 25. Actually, solid 3-point shooter. 2 seasons ago, shot 43.6% from 3. As a 9th or 10th man, a veteran coming off the bench, I take a Jay Crowder.
Yeah. So you're in, I'm out. Jay?
I'm in.
Okay.
I like the veteran leadership. It sounds funny, but to me, he's Trey Lyles here. And I think as much as Trey does a great job for the Kings, I think if you put Trey in other positions, he wouldn't be as valuable as he is here in Sacramento. I think Jay Crowder would enhance his value here in Sacramento. I think it would make sense.
Can I read a couple comments on him on the chat here from Kings fan Dan? If Crowder is a last signing at MLE or less, I'm good with him. Not great length and a little older, but still can contribute. And then Willie Bowen says Crowder is 6'6", too small. One more, or you want
too small? What do you mean too small?
Well, that's what
small
forward.
It's small. We're not asking him to play the 5.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
we're not saying he's the answer at the 4 either. No. We're just saying these individual players, how would they fit? What do you think?
6'6", too small. That's what.
You're just saying that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, Willie. What does he mean too small? Like too small to play small forward? Like I don't know.
We hit the wheel one more time.
One more time.
Willie sound like he might be partaking in a libation.
I'm with Willie on that. On both, on too small and the libation.
All right, fellas. Someone a little interesting here. 6'5". Maybe he's too small.
He's too small. He's done. Nope.
In Cleveland, restricted.
Your boy.
10 points almost a game. 3 off the glass. We can't call him Windex, but he's up there. Isaac Okoro. You in or you out there, Mr. Whitey?
Could not be more in.
Really? He's too small.
He's a guard, though. But I don't think he
But we're guard heavy. He's not playing there.
I know that. But he's been one of my
You
guys.
like him as a player.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like.
So I know the fit was.
Do you like him on the Kings?
I love him on the Kings. He's like a combination kind of Keon and a guy. Well, he's kind of like Keon, a little better Keon Ellis, which is really a good thing.
Where would he fit in terms of the pecking order? I mean, is he ahead of Keon then? If you bring him here, is he ahead of Keon?
I think he would be, and because you already have Keon and he's not making that much, like, well, we like Keon.
So you're in on the player, but
I understand. Fit wise is like, but I've always liked him.
I hear you, and I'm gonna say I'm out because of all those reasons. Sure. If this was before we got DeRozan or something, and you traded for somebody else and you add him as well, okay. Why is he still a restricted free agent? You know what I mean?
They got to figure out, because they got a lot of people they got to pay that are bigger stars.
Right. Like, but is Cleveland just waiting for somebody to make him an offer? it's like, all right, go out there, shop yourself, see what you can get. And then are they going
That's a good
lowball him
question.
when he comes back? Is it the Caleb Martin school of negotiations? No, I'm going to go out here and I could do better, and then come back and doesn't get the deal that he hoped for. We'll see. I'm out on him just for the reasons we just talked about.
Yeah, I'm out. I think with DeRozan, you just don't know where to put him at. I think they have to figure out what they're going to do with Kevin Huerter. If they've already figured it out, maybe he's here. They know, but I think he would be someone. One thing we need are bigger guards, right? And I think that's why we're even thinking about DeRozan even playing the 2. To me, DeMar DeRozan's a 3. He's always been a 3. Most of the time, when you look at where he's played, he's kind of played the position of a 3 because he's a slasher. He's a Rip Hamilton type guy. And so I'm not sure where Isaac would fit, knowing that we still have Kevin Huerter. And I'm going to continue to push. I think Malik Monk starts here.
Speaking of DeMar DeRozan, we really don't know what to think of the deal until we find out what Kevin O'Connor thinks of the deal. We're going to hear what Kevin O'Connor, noted Kings hater, thinks of the DeRozan deal when we come right back to Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, even though Brent Rooker was certainly deserving with his 18 homers and 54 RBIs, the A's electric closer Mason Miller is the team's representative in the All-Star game. Now, he joins a list of 5 other Oakland rookies who have been named to the team over the years. Names like Wayne Gross, Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Andrew Bailey, and Ryan Cook.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
The Open Championship celebrates its 152nd anniversary this month at Royal Troon in Scotland. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. The game's top players assemble for a chance at the coveted Claret Jug. The Open Championship is about tradition, excellence, and class. And you'll find similar qualities at Naturewood Home Furnishings as they assemble the finest furniture and brand choices for your selection. When you visit Naturewood, you'll be amazed at the gallery of superior furniture available for your lifestyle, for your decor, for your home. This weekend during Naturewood's bedroom sale, you're sure to find the perfect piece you've been searching for. Naturewood is proud to bring you Open Championship updates on this station and proud to offer you the finest furnishings available. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the Waterman.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Now you guys got me thinking about Jay Crowder. Wow, I hadn't thought about Jay Crowder. But he'd be way down in the rotation, right? If he's
Yeah,
in
like
my
ninth
rotation.
man or something
How
like
old
that.
is Jay Crowder now?
34, I think it is. Yeah. I mean, veteran.
I'm running a basketball team or a senior center. Come on, man.
Come on.
What are you talking bad about now?
This guy is
DeMar in there
he's
too?
all in on beef stew. That's it. He's all in on beef stew. That's the guy now.
DeMar DeRozan is 35 next month, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But doesn't the fact that DeMar, and I'm pretty sure you guys have had this conversation 12 times, so excuse me for repeating.
No, that's all right.
I guess for me.
Yeah.
Doesn't the signing of DeMar DeRozan mean that they're trying to win right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And it also means that they're counting on the young core and like Keegan to be better. And it's like this year, next year, and then I don't know if you saw this, Jay, the contract for DeRozan for the third year, it's partially guaranteed. Yeah. But then if they win a title, that's one of the triggers in there. Yeah. Then it becomes guaranteed. And if he makes all league, then more of it becomes guaranteed. I think you're right. I think that's an encouraging view.
Like they're going for it.
Yes.
They're playing to win.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing to, in 2-3 years, because DeMar's not going to have 3, 4, 5 years probably at this point. He's probably got the 3 years that they signed him for, at the highest level with the highest visibility. And so I don't think he's just a placeholder. And if they signed him for a placeholder, then, that's a whole nother conversation. But I just think they signed him moving forward as we think we can compete within the next 3 years for a championship.
And I think even more encouraging is that he looks at it and goes, unless it's just like, well, they gave me more money, but he wants to win a championship. And he looks at it and goes, yeah, I think that could happen.
Yeah. Path. Yeah. Which is a little surprising. I'll keep it real. It's surprising. In the West, like I would say, look at the East. Outside of Boston, maybe Philly, it's wide open, but closer to home, better weather out here. And so I'm happy he's here, man.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of varying opinions, especially nationally. So I mentioned Kevin O'Connor.
Kevin O'Connor.
In the chat, we got people saying, I don't care what he thinks. He's a Kings hater. What do you think Kevin O'Connor's going to think?
What did you say?
What do you think
about this move?
Yeah.
He's not going to like it because DeRozan's not a 3-point shooter.
Okay. This is Kevin O'Connor on the Ringer podcast on what he thinks of the Kings acquisition of DeMar DeRozan.
Well, my feelings with the Kings. Well, I like it too.
Hey!
I do like it too, because I think with DeRozan, he's still one of the best clutch bucket getters in the NBA right now. He's still a mid-range king. He's still super efficient out of isolations and pick and rolls. He adds a different type of variety into what they can do offensively. Part of the reason why I talked last year about why I wanted to see them pursue, say, Pascal Siakam, was what he could do as a screener and added it like from the mid-range as an in-between guy from the forward spot. Well, I think DeRozan, a different type of guy, different size player than Siakam, but the mid-range stuff adds a completely different ingredient from the way in which he does it as an ISO scorer. So I think Fox and DeRozan together, like different flavors of scoring. I think it's important that DeRozan continues taking more spot-out threes. He did more last season for the Bulls than he has in many years. It's important that Sabonis actually finally becomes a higher volume guy. He shot around 40% last season, but on like a shot a game. It's not like he's shooting them often. So I think for spacing for the Kings, it's important that two guys who have not been high-volume shooters over the years start taking more of them.
Miracle of miracles.
I am
guy,
shocked.
Kevin O'Connor likes the move.
He totally shocked me. I was blown away, because DeRozan's not a high usage 3-point shooter. It's not a big part of his game. But Kevin O'Connor is right. It opens up the playbook when you have a guy like that, and the clutch factor. And so here's the thing about O'Connor, fellas. And I just, I was sitting with him last year at Summer League, and I'm like, I'm going to Summer League tomorrow. I'm like, I'm gonna have to see this dude in person. So I'm gonna effort him on the show. Get him live on the show.
He doesn't really want to come on the show, does he?
He doesn't, because listen to what he said when he first started talking. He's like, how I feel about Sacramento. It's like, there's something there, some beef. He knows he's not liked well out in these parts, so he's ducking the smoke right now.
Yeah. Well, I give him credit, because that would have been an easy one to say, this is a terrible
fit.
Right.
You shocked? He shocked you too, huh?
A little bit. Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I wanted him to dunk on him.
Yeah, so we can rip on him a little bit. But no, I mean, anybody that, and we talked about this yesterday, Whitey, and anybody, Jay, that hates this move hasn't really paid attention to the Sacramento Kings the last year or two. Like, to me, DeMar DeRozan gives them something they really don't have, like an elite isolation player. And when you look at the Boston Celtics, Tatum, elite isolation. Jaylen Brown, elite isolation. Denver Nuggets, Jamal Murray, elite isolation. You need those guys, too, to win a championship. Steph Curry is even an elite isolation player. We didn't have that. De'Aaron Fox, to an extent, Domas not an elite. Like, this is a guy, shot clock's at 6, offense is out of whack, get out of his way, he'll get you a bucket.
Yeah, that's why one of my concerns with DeRozan coming here is, we talked about this and you agreed with me, how it's going to impact Malik.
Yes.
If Malik's on the floor at the same time as DeRozan and De'Aaron Fox.
Right.
Because we saw last year, we saw Malik and De'Aaron Fox take over games at the end sometimes. And the offense was like, no, we're not doing that now. These guys are ball dominant. And it worked at times, but now you add DeRozan in there. I'm not, I don't think any of those guys are selfish. It's just a matter of, can they figure out how to make the offense click with those three guys on the floor.
And the thing about Malik, he was the secondary ball handler for the Kings outside of Sabonis. Sabonis in his own category. Then you had De'Aaron Fox, and then it was Malik. Now you add DeMar DeRozan. Malik goes down in the pecking order a little bit. And so I'm excited that he's back. I'm excited that he's re-signed, but it's not the same situation as it was a season ago for him. I think it's going to be a little different for him.
He mentioned at the conference a couple days ago, he said the things that Malik as well as De'Aaron Fox said to him. He said they were instrumental in him coming.
Yes.
So Malik was on board.
Recruited, helped bring him here. So
I
Jay Triano, who's a great assistant coach, great offensive mind, what it is, though, when you get a guy like DeMar DeRozan, it's like having a Lego set, Whitey. You're just trying to build things. And then all of a sudden, your next door neighbor's moving out and he says, here's my box of Legos. And then you realize, whoa, I could actually build this with it. And so Jay Triano is going to be like a mad scientist with a bunch of Legos, and I can't wait to see what he creates out of this offense. You like that analogy?
That was a good one. I didn't know where you were going there.
I didn't know where I was going.
We're going fishing, or we're going to the club, or we're going fishing at the club. I don't know where.
I don't even know sometimes, man. That one just popped in my head.
Yeah. And the simplest thing about it, which is what we've talked about, is we all saw last year how the Kings offense at times bogged down. And it's one of the reasons they would blow leads. The offense stopped working when the threes didn't fall. And now you've got something else that you can go to.
Right. You got a cheat code, if you will, a get out of jail free card. When things are mucked up, hit the red button. DeMar DeRozan to the rescue. That's what he is. And so I'm excited, man. I think it's actually a much better fit than people are giving it credit for, in terms of and he's not a selfish player. People say he's an isolation guy, but he's not a ball hog kind of guy. So I think he'll fit in perfectly.
And one of the biggest reasons not to sign DeRozan, I don't think it's a thing. Tell you what it is and why not next on Sactown Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I can't tell you how much I love my new SUV. It is truly amazing, and I got special news just for you. Right now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you can receive your first month's payment up to $1,500 on them on select new 2024 GLE vehicles. Or how about the all-new E-Class right now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton? They have over 80 pre-owned vehicles in stock, including off-brand trucks, SUVs, and sedans. And they have rates starting at 1.99% APR on select certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. And Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a Vans Fleet Center with rates starting at 4.9% APR plus customer bonus cash incentives on approved credit. Head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just off I-5, or online at mbfstockton.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Warm again Thursday night with valley temperatures staying in the upper 60s to low 70s. Another hot day Friday with afternoon temperatures around 106. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
You know, it's funny. We were talking earlier about Michael Jordan because John Stockton just said, somebody asked him about who's the best player of all time. Is it Kobe? Is it LeBron? Is it Michael Jordan? And Stockton said, well, I wouldn't use those three. He says one of those three would not even be in my top 10. So we're not sure who he's talking about. He does say that Kareem and Wilt, he says those are the guys that we should be talking about. But it's funny as we talk about ISO scores like DeMar DeRozan and, Michael Jordan certainly could do that. Remember when Michael played, and now, everybody's looking for switches, right? Looking for mismatches. When Michael played, it was like, give me your best defender. I want to take him on. Remember, it was totally different.
Was it?
Yeah.
No,
he would want
Jordan, really?
Yeah.
He wanted, dude, he was scoring on Craig Elo. Come on, man.
Craig Elo was
Craig Elo.
Yeah.
Come on. All right, I guess. I'm not a Jordan guy, so anything anybody says positive about Jordan, I'm going to be skeptical,
Now, when you say you're not a Jordan guy, you mean you don't think he's the best or you don't like him? I know Jay you're not a big Jordan guy either.
No, not a big guy.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Michael Jordan, people forget all his missteps. They act like this dude was perfect. They act like he never missed a game winner. He never had failures. Are
you saying he's like the basketball player version of the song Not Like Us?
No, I'm not going there, buddy. You're trying to, I'm not, and first of all, you're not roping me into that again. I'm not, no. I just feel like, Jordan is great. But Jordan was a shot chucker. Jordan wasn't an assist guy. And that's why I would take LeBron if I'm starting a team, because LeBron fits with everybody. Jordan, you need the role players around him. LeBron can play with other stars. We've seen it. Jordan, I feel like, has to be the alpha, but LeBron has to be the alpha, but not looking to score. He just needs to be the alpha. He can assist. He could pass. I don't know. I think Jordan's a little overrated, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's overrated.
Don't you think the most Jordan-like player that we have now is probably Ant-Man? I know people have made that. And he said, well, maybe early Jordan.
Yeah, early
and
Jordan.
I'm not trying to, I understand your point. I'm not trying to trip you up.
No, you can't trip Drapes up. No, you can't. You can't do that.
It's not that hard. But,
I'm just saying. No, but Ant-Man has, you know what? I was watching him last night, and he had the way he moves, the way he gets to his spots and elevates is Jordan-esque. It reminds me a lot of Jordan, actually. Yeah.
It was kind of funny watching that game last night when it started. You had that star-studded star. The whole team, obviously, spectacular. But you had Embiid, and you have Steph, and you have LeBron, and it was Devin Booker, and then it was Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
And when LeBron or Steph or Embiid would get the ball in the first quarter, it's like, all right, here we go. And everything would kind of stop.
Yeah.
And then the second unit came in, and there's boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And then the starters came back in, and they figured things out. And they had that spectacular lob from Steph to LeBron. But it just takes some figuring it out sometimes.
Yeah.
Right, how are we doing this?
And I think the thing about Ant-Man that was on display yesterday versus all the other stars, and this is what he was talking about, he's going to be him.
Yeah.
He played his game. LeBron, Steph, they look like try to fit in to play the team game, share the ball. When they're on their regular teams, they're heavily ball dominant. And so, but when Anthony Edwards came in, he did what he does. And Tyrese Halliburton, too, I would say. He looked great last night. A couple of early turnovers, but he's a ball mover. He's a guy that, likes to get up and run. He was true to himself. I think when you have so much talent, LeBron, Steph, Devin Booker, it's like you have a tendency to overpass, overshare, instead of just being you out there on the court.
I think some guys play with somebody like Anthony Edwards. Not that there are a lot of guys like them, but for some guys, it's like, oh, he's going to shoot all the time. But Halliburton, to my eyes, as a pure point guard, is like, this is great.
Right.
I have him to pass the ball to.
He's
That's
always
why I
looking.
never understood Stephon Marbury, how he kind of was jealous of Kevin Garnett. Because the way I looked at it, and obviously this is not the way he saw it, like, you're a point guard and you got Kevin Garnett to give the ball to. What's the problem?
Yeah. And what the word is, and actually lived out in Minnesota when those two were hooping, Garnett was the face of the franchise,
Right.
and Steph Marbury thought he should be and get paid like it as well, and so they could have been a great 1-2 combination. Man, they were fantastic.
Yeah, and he didn't. It's kind of like Kyrie got tired of playing with LeBron.
How you getting tired of playing with LeBron? If they would have stayed together, man, that's and the thing about Kyrie. His best years came with LeBron, like in terms of success on the court and championships. I mean, they could have won a few more titles together if they stayed together.
It seems like maybe he figured that out. Maybe, and Kyrie's not the type that ever, boy, I really regret that. He doesn't operate that way, but it seems like maybe he realized, maybe that wasn't so bad.
And you see their relationship now too.
Yeah.
LeBron and Kyrie. And then there's rumblings, that they may want to pair up again at some point. And, I think to your point, Kyrie realizes it really wasn't that bad in Cleveland.
Right.
But he was just young, immature at the time.
I
And
make the game-winning shot in Game 7.
it's all about LeBron. Yeah, it's all he could have, his legacy. I mean, they could have won a couple more titles. If those two would have stayed together, they could have won a couple more titles.
They could have beaten KD and that team.
That would have been fun to watch, right? That would have been, that would have been fun to watch. I don't know if anybody was beating that team, though. KD in his prime, Steph in his prime.
Yeah. KD getting older now, and so is DeMar DeRozan, and I think that's one of the reasons why maybe the market wasn't as brisk for him as it should have been. And I know I made this point a couple of days ago, but I think when you look at DeMar DeRozan and you say, wow, he's 35 now, I think he's going to be one of those guys that could play 19 or 20 seasons. And he's
think so.
15 now.
I think so.
And that's a lot. And
Right.
obviously there's wear and tear, but he shows no signs of it. And for the Kings, as Jay was saying, you got a 2-year deal plus third option for a third. The way DeMar DeRozan is still playing and functioning at that level, I don't think that's really a concern. It's not like, he's going to fall off the cliff next year. It could happen, but there's no signs of it.
I agree with you. And the thing, oh my gosh, I'm looking at, wow. This is a crazy stat about DeMar DeRozan. First of all, he plays all the time. 79 games, 74, 76, 61.
Is he like the oldest guy to ever lead the league in minutes? Or
I think so, yeah. But he's played in 1,110 games, has started all but 12 of them, and all 12 came his rookie season. So since he got in the starting lineup, he started. You would think maybe an injury or something like that, or early on, or no. This guy has been elite, the dude. And I'm looking at his minutes, Whitey. The 37.8, the second most of his career at age 34. The most he's ever played was when he was 24, 38.2. But he played 37.8 minutes at that age and doesn't look like he's slowing down.
It's funny now when you look at the list of the all-time scorers, there's and the guys that have played the longest, those two things, a lot of the current names pop up. The guys that have played the longest, it's littered with a lot of bigs. Guys that just like Robert Parrish played 20 seasons or whatever. But more and more you're seeing guys who are still playing now and have played recently, like Jamal Crawford. Guys just play longer now, especially certain style of guys like Mike Conley. Mike Conley's been playing forever. He's still a really good player.
He is. And, guys take care of their bodies.
Guys,
and, the medical staffs and, they got more. And, think about it, too. Guys back in the day, they were smoking cigarettes or drinking during games, right? It's different now. Guys understand their bodies are their temples and they take better care of themselves. And so, we talk about DeMar DeRozan real quick, Whitey. I'm looking at, just where he ranks all-time in all-time NBA scoring. This is just the NBA. He's 36th all-time, just behind Steph Curry. And when you look at the guys who have scored 20,000 or more points, Anton Jameson, Tom Chambers, Joe Johnson are the only guys not in the Hall of Fame outside of the active guys. So DeMar at 23,000, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. I mean, when it's all said and done, Whitey, this guy's going to score 26, 27,000 points. Which is crazy. I mean, he's going to be a top 20 scorer of all time when it's all said and done.
I think that's one of the things you and Katie will be doing a lot next couple of years is. And
Yeah.
with that basket, he now moves
Yes.
past so-and-so.
Yes.
Yeah, as he climbs up the ladder.
Yeah. Steph will keep moving, but Barkley's not moving anymore. Iverson, Ray Allen, Patrick Ewing, Gilmore, Jerry West. So DeMar's going to be climbing up that
stuff.
list. Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah. So I think it's a really good gamble for the Kings to take on a player who obviously a guy of his magnitude coming here. That's why everyone was so excited. It's like, wait, DeMar DeRozan's coming. He wants to come here?
Right.
This is great.
Right. He a star, a guy that is a season removed from an all-star bid, wants to come to Sacramento, and I just think too, it shows you, and Jay, we've talked about this, Whitey, we've talked about this, De'Aaron Fox and the way he moves around the league in his pecking order. The fact that De'Aaron Fox helped recruit DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk, to me, that puts them on a higher pedestal, in my opinion. All right, maybe they do have some pull. Maybe they do. And I don't know if it's the Clutch Sports or whatever or not, but DeMar wanted to play with these guys. That's something. That's when you know you have a great player. When other great players want to come team up with you. And DeRozan's doing it with Fox.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's see what's going on back east. See what Mitch is up to on Sactown Sports. Hey, Mitch. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going? I'm sorry. Of course. I guess I didn't pay my taxes. How you and Jay? Listen, by the way, you got to tell Drapes, you're not a butler. You're not there to drive his cars, okay? You do more than that, all right?
Jay the one with the butler. Jay the one with the butler. Not me.
Lucky him. But that's below your pay scale and everything else. I'm trying to throw you a compliment, but I'm screwing it up.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. I see where you're going, Mitch. I see you.
What's on your mind?
Okay. Well, this New Yorker can't even change the tires, so I'm having a hard time here.
Yeah.
So I'll make it short. I don't know why I only get 2 hours of your show instead of 4. I think this team, if we can make one more move, you can have 10 guys, and it'd be really nice. Nobody can play too much. So be well rested for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hope it happens.
Thank you,
All right,
Mitch.
Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch is having some issues streaming the show. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, is
he's
that
back
what he said?
east, and he's like, he can only get 2 hours for some reason. So that's what he's trying to. I don't know.
We got to figure that out for Mitch.
Yes, we're working on him, Mitch, and Jay's been working on Rick Barry, and he's going to join us. Yeah, Rick Barry.
He's gonna join us.
Yeah,
I will tell you why he didn't come up, but we might get booed. No, he was doing some stuff with the Warriors, so
he was doing some stuff with them.
They had him tied up. They must have known he was coming on.
That's
They're
it.
like, tie him up for the next hour.
That's it. That's it. Rick Barry joining us next. Sactown Sports.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach. Kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced stage. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet Store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 special. Rocket into the night. Friday, July 19th at 7:30 at the venue at Thunder Valley. With Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss 38 Special Live.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives are spent sleeping? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water reel.
July 4th savings explode at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
July 4th savings up to $12,000 off Silverado exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available in special financing, leasing, some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer. End 7/31/24.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Hey, Sactown Sports fans, get ready for an unforgettable summer with the Sactown Sports live events calendar, packed with the hottest shows around. Starting at Thunder Valley Resort, don't miss the epic Slash and Serpent Tour on July 12th. Then on July 20th, enjoy the incredible Miranda Lambert live in concert. And on August 9th, Jason Mraz and the Super Band are set to deliver an unforgettable performance. And don't miss this Live Nation lineup. On August 4th, experience the legendary Outlaw Music Festival at Toyota Amphitheater, featuring Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. Then on August 15th, catch the iconic Donny Osmond at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. And on August 22nd, don't miss Creed Fisher rocking the stage at Ace of Spades. Finally, on September 10th, the Doobie Brothers bring their timeless hits to the Toyota Amphitheater. For all your ticketing information, head over to livenation.com. These are the shows you won't want to miss, so grab your tickets now. And stay tuned to Sactown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
ABA champ. You went through some of these drapes. 5 times first team All-NBA, 4 times first team All-ABA, MVP of the 75 finals. Nice enough to join us. The legend himself, Rick Barry. How are you today, Rick?
Well, I'm doing great. If I was doing any better, I'd be making a comeback in the NBA.
There you go.
Now would be the time, Rick. I'll tell you that, right? All the money being thrown around, now would be the time.
I think, weren't you in Vegas just this week, and you're still showing people how to shoot free throws, Rick?
No, I wasn't down in Vegas. That was the 50th anniversary for USA Basketball. My wife was one of the executives for 12 years, ran the women's program, and so she was there. My son, who was on the 3x3 Olympic team, was there as well. And but no, I had seen some actually in San Francisco doing something for the Warriors. Just did a big shoot or something that they're doing for a promo for the All-Star game for next year. And then I'm heading over right now to go and visit with Al Ados.
Oh, gonna hang with Al Ados,
coach.
Yeah,
Coach won the championship.
Yeah. We're talking Warriors royalty right there. Hey, Rick, make of you will the offseason moves by both teams. Let's start with Golden State. Klay Thompson going to Dallas, but Mike Dunleavy Jr. really trying to, replace him with a number of different guys. And then you look at Sacramento getting DeMar DeRozan. Just what did you think about the moves both teams here in Northern California made?
Well, the Warriors didn't have any choice in the Klay Thompson situation. He elected to leave. He felt, I think, disrespected is everything that I heard, that he felt disrespected, that they didn't really care enough about him to want to offer him a contract that he was happy with. And so I can understand where that's coming from. I mean, to have done what he did for this team and to have other people getting signed and to not take the time to make sure that you kept him in the fold was a mistake on their part. And obviously they wound up losing one of the great players that the team has ever had during the great run that they had. So I wish him well. I'm sorry that he's leaving. But I can certainly understand where he's coming from. But I think what made it easier, if he had been married with kids and doing that, I don't know if he would have been happy with the results going to be. It's hard to pick up your family and move and go someplace else when you've been around for as long as he's been in the Bay Area and so settled in. But I hope it works for him. As long as the Mavericks don't beat the Warriors in the playoffs, then I'm fine with it.
Rick, if I may, are you speaking from experience there? Because I know you stayed in the Bay Area with
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. I mean, especially he's been there for as long as he's been there, but he doesn't have any children, so that makes things a whole lot easier for being able to pick up and move. But anyway, it's for him. He'll help them. There's no question. Him coming off the bench to give him 3-point shooting. I mean, even in towards the end of his career here now, I mean, he still shot 38% from threes, which is better than a whole bunch of guys in the NBA, and still average 15 or more points a game. So to get that and the experience that he has, that's a big plus, I think, for Dallas. No question about that.
Rick Barry with us, and around here, Kings fans very excited about the acquisition of DeMar DeRozan. He's in some ways a throwback in that he doesn't take a lot of threes, great mid-range game, gets to the line a lot. I don't know how, you're very busy, don't know how closely you follow the Kings, but how do you see him fitting in with Mike Brown's offense?
Well, it just depends on, what he's willing to accept, what Mike wants each of them to do. I mean, the last time I checked, still only played with one ball. And it's just a matter of how well the guys are going to gel together, how willing the guys are to perhaps sacrifice a little bit, because once you start a season on a team, you have to put your ego in the closet, because it's not about you anymore. What can I do to help this team win a championship? And you have to be willing to accept that role and to really apply yourself to it and be committed to it if it's going to work. And that goes for everybody on the team, because everybody has a role to play, and it all has to be done simultaneously and together, with everybody being on the proverbial same page. Now, if they do that, they got a lot of talent on that team, without question. Certainly, he's another addition to it, gives them another weapon to have to try to defend against. So, yeah, I mean, it should be a good pickup from him if it all works together. Teams look great on paper a lot, but they don't necessarily always pan out when you get on the court or on the field and see how they play together. So it's always a big question mark. Who knows? I mean, you really never know.
Rick, you bring up an interesting point about, you just never know. It's not NBA 2K. It's not fantasy basketball. You have to put together a team. And, I'm looking at Team USA adding Derek White. And then I'll look at what the Sacramento Kings are doing. We feel like they need an upgrade at the power forward position. There's been some talk of a guy like Kyle Kuzma or Brandon Ingram or somebody like that. I'm of the belief you need a more of a blue collar guy that necessarily doesn't need the basketball. Talk to me just about, putting together a team instead of a collection of stars and how important that is in basketball.
Well, it's critical. I mean, just look at what's happened with our teams in international competition for world championships, things of that nature. Jerry Colangelo was the one that told these guys, look, you just can't take the best players and throw them all together and expect it to work. I mean, and this is they've done. I think White's a great addition to the Olympic team. I mean, he's a blue collar guy. He's a guy that's going to work his butt off and knows how to play the game. He can shoot the three, he can create. Yeah, you need that. You don't need, like they say, you don't need all chiefs. You got to have some Indians. Okay, you got the head of the tribe, and then you got the other people. Everybody has their role that they have to play. And so I would agree with you there. The last thing they need to do is bring in a guy who's used to being a 20-point a game scorer or something in the power forward position. Get somebody who can rebound, play some defense, and give you 10 points and 8-10 rebounds a game.
Yeah, Clyde Lees don't grow on trees these days, do they? Rick Barry, our guest. Rick, if I remember correctly, you were one of the first that saw Yao Ming and said, this guy's going to be great. When you were playing, did you foresee how popular the game would become globally and how many great international stars would be coming over?
No, I can't say that I had a crystal ball to think that, but I knew that there were a lot of players overseas, because what happened initially is that the players overseas were very robotic. They didn't have a lot of great athletes who played the game, and they were pretty predictable as to what they could do. And then the game became more popular, and with television is the biggest thing that helped do it. I mean, now, like I was watching my son Kenny, who's on 3x3 Olympic team. I was watching him play in freaking Mongolia. Screaming. I mean, I wish the heck that was the case when my son Scooter was playing, so I didn't have to go ahead and fly overseas just to be able to get to see him play. I mean, it's really remarkable what goes on with that. But yeah, the game has grown so much, and there's so many foreign players who are just great players. I mean, hell, look at the Joker and Jokic. I mean, there's just so many great players out there now from overseas. It's crazy, and it's great for the game. I mean, I think it's absolutely wonderful, and it's going to continue to grow because more and more people. It's so easy. Here's the thing. Basketball is so easy. What do you need? You need a ball and just a basket someplace outside of the playground. You don't need to have a lot of money. So a lot of these countries where they don't have a lot of money and they don't belong to country clubs or whatever, they go to the park. I mean, that's why we've had so many of the black players to be able to develop, because even growing up in the difficult circumstances for them in some of the big cities, they have playgrounds and you just need a ball. And, sometimes you don't even have a net, but you can still play. I mean,
and you can do it by yourself too. You don't need to.
That. No. I would get up in the summertime when I finally made the commitment to basketball. I was more of a baseball player in high school, and then finally after my sophomore year, I made the commitment to basketball because of what happened in baseball. Because I was an all-state baseball player. I was much better in baseball than I was in basketball, and so I would go in the morning, and my mom would cook breakfast. She'd make a lunch for me. I'd leave, and I wouldn't come home until dinner time. And if nobody was there, I would just drill. I would shoot. I would do drills, tipping drills, other things, and just work on my game. And if somebody shows up, you play. And that's what it's about. It's about putting the time and the effort in it. But here's the deal. If you love what you're doing, it's like, okay, you guys love what you're doing. I love playing. I don't think I had a job. That's not a job.
Right.
A job is when you have to do something that you really don't want to do just to survive. That's a job. Okay? If you love what you do, that's what I try to tell kids. Find something you have a love and a passion for. Learn as much about it as you can so you lay down a great foundation to build on, and then you'll have a chance of really enjoying life and having great success.
Right. The great Rick Barry joining us, Hall of Fame, our all-time great, one of the top 75 players in league history. Rick, I want to switch gears, and this might be a leading question. How would you say, all right, I grew up in Philadelphia, Rick. I'm a big Dr. J fan, Julius Erving. And when I talk about the all-time greats, I feel like people, I know he is one of your rivals back in the day, but I feel like people don't, give the ABA and the times the great players spent in the ABA the credit they deserve. Can you just talk to me about the league and the talent and what it was like back then?
Well, there was a tremendous number of great players in the ABA, and they got a big documentary coming out that I've seen the preview of it, and it's really quite well done, and I think everybody should watch it. If you like basketball, you'll learn a lot more about it, and a lot of those players didn't get their just due, and without the ABA, a great many Hall of Fame players might never have had a chance to become Hall of Famers because they wouldn't have been given the opportunity to play. So I think you'll really enjoy it. They did, I think, a really nice job with it. And I'm with Dr. J every weekend because we both coach in the Big Three at Ice Cubes League. And I see him and George Gervin and Gary Payton and all these other guys that are involved. And, everybody who played the game, I think, appreciates and understands just how great so many players were. And there's so many over there that have never gotten their just due. I mean, amazing, especially some of the guards that played. My heavens! And then Artis Gilmore. I mean, what a joke! Artis Gilmore. People have no idea because they remember him from the Chicago Bulls. That was at the end, towards the end of his career. He was so athletic. And I never seen anybody blocking guys' jumpers from the baseline. For God's sake! I'm serious. I have a picture that I show everybody. Me driving the middle, throwing up a floater. It's behind the backboard. And there's artists up over the top of it, cupping it with the basket right there. And it's one of those things where if you put like a little circle in, what somebody's saying, mine would be, look at it, you got to be shitting me. he's cupping the ball. I mean, and Artis was amazing. And when he was younger, I mean, so athletic. I saw a picture of him in college when he was up blocking a shot. His hand was up above the backboard with the square that's there. I mean, he was incredible, and people just remember him as a big, strong guy with the Bulls, but he was an amazing player. And then, of course, Spencer Haywood was another guy that came in, and Roger Brown was a great player in the NBA that people don't know much about. And Willie Wise, unbelievable, terrific, one of the best defensive players I've ever played against, and a heck of an offensive player as well. I just go on and on about there's so many players that are there. And finally, the Hall of Fame started to have a committee to start to give the ABA guys a chance to get to be in the Hall of Fame. The fact that Artis Gilmore had to get put in the Hall of Fame by the ABA committee was a travesty.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy should have been a first ballot guy. I mean, he was a 2020 guy. He was getting 20 rebounds and 20 points in college. I mean, there's no way he shouldn't have been elected into the Hall of Fame 5 years after his retirement.
Rick Barry with us. And Rick, obviously, you talked about Canyon. I didn't realize Canyon also has a degree in nuclear engineering. I can't imagine how proud
he
you
has
are.
a master's. He has a master's in nuclear engineering. He has a degree in physics as well from the Honors College. Yeah, my son is stupid smart. Thank God he takes after his mother.
And, of course, John was a fan favorite here, and we know about your other son. So I'm wondering what your views are on what's going on with Bronny and possibly he's going to end up playing with LeBron. What do you make of that?
I think it's awesome. I mean, really, seriously. I mean, if I had the opportunity to be able to play on the highest level possible in basketball and have one of my sons be playing with me, oh my God, that would be nirvana. I mean, if I had that kind of power and clout, I mean, why not? Mm-hmm. Why would you not do that? Mm-hmm. I mean, so, I don't blame LeBron for doing it. I mean, if the Lakers are willing to go for it, I mean, that's their choice to see if they wanted to do it. Now, is it fair? No. But everything in life isn't fair. There are other guys out there who are probably much better basketball players that deserve an opportunity to do it, but their father isn't LeBron James.
Right. And the thing, too, about that, Rick, and it hit me about a week ago, a lot of people are saying, well, you're only there because of your dad. But I argue Bronny, the road might have been tougher because LeBron was his dad. As a guy that had a number of sons, play professionally, how was that, for your boys coming up and being the sons of a Hall of Famer and all-time great?
Well, obviously, it didn't help my son Canyon, who was every bit as good as my other sons, and certainly had a shot to be able to be an NBA player, but didn't get the opportunity. But that's life. I mean, you play the cards you're dealt, like they say, and sometimes you get good cards, sometimes you get crappy cards. I'm just happy that my son made the commitment to want to go and try out the 3x3 and participate in that for a chance to go to the Olympics. I mean, it's hard when you're doing something in life and you're doing pretty darn well, but you're not being recognized. I mean, my son averaged 13 points a game on 7 shots, shooting 48 from twos, 40 from threes, and 86 from the free throw line, and couldn't get a 10-day contract when somebody on the team was making $7 million, shooting 26 from threes, 36 from twos, and 60-something from the free throw line, and he's got $7 million that he's making. That makes it pretty tough to deal with. So those are the situations that happen in life, and you can't sit around and feel sorry for yourself, and that's why I'm proud of my son that he was willing to make the commitment to do this, and now he's experiencing something that nobody else in the Barry family has, which is to be an Olympian. And so I'm happy for him to have the opportunity to do that. That was the biggest disappointment of my career, that I didn't make the 64 Olympic team, which I thought I played well enough to do it, but it was very political back in those days, and it wasn't meant to be. So, hey, if you feel, if something happens and it makes you sad, cry, get over it, move on.
Rick, I'm going to ask you about this, this question about the greatest, and I'm sure you get asked this all the time. You're probably tired of it. I want to frame it this way. Somebody asked John Stockton. They asked him, who's the greatest? Is it MJ, LeBron, or Kobe? And he said, why? He said, I don't think it'd be one of those three. And he said, one of those three I wouldn't even have in my top 5. And he didn't say who that was, but he went on to say, hey, Wilt Chamberlain, they changed the game for Wilt Chamberlain. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the most dominant player I'd ever seen. How annoying is it when people ask you about that? And how do you even try to answer that question? Who's the greatest of all time?
Well, first of all, it's a ridiculous question when it's a team sport. There's no such thing as the greatest of all time in a team sport, because every position requires different skills. If you want to have a reasonably intelligent conversation, you say, who is the best point guard, who was the best 2 guard, and do it during the time that they played during that particular decade. You can't compare different decades. I mean, I hear this all the time from people about me. Well, Rick, you guys wouldn't be able to play with these guys today. And I said, are you on drugs? Do you really understand how much better a player I would be and my contemporaries would have been if we played today? We never had a strength coach. We didn't have an agility coach. We didn't have a dietitian. We didn't have any of the things that these guys had. If we played today, and I know for myself, I'd be faster, and I was pretty damn fast, faster, quicker, stronger, more endurance, jump higher. I would be so much better a player today because of the technology that exists and the training that exists, because everything in sports is sports specific now. It used to be people went out, they lifted and they did stuff. Well, now you do certain lifting depending upon the sport you play, depending upon the position that you play. It's incredibly sophisticated. So stop with this comparison. There is no such thing as the greatest of all time. When I played, the GOAT was the guy who screwed up. Wasn't the greatest of all time. I mean, so now they're doing crazy. And who's great? I'm so sick and tired of it, especially with some of the talking heads on television. It's pathetic. I mean, like, even I'm surprised that even John said that. It's just the same thing. Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, come on. Wilt was the most dominant center of his time during that. He's the center, okay, from the skill standpoint. Not Bill Russell, who was unbelievable. Who had the most impact on a team winning championships and doing stuff? Obviously, Bill Russell. But skill and talent for the center position and what you can do in the center position, nobody's ever done what Wilt Chamberlain did. But don't compare him to Kareem, because if Wilt were playing today, as great as he was, he'd be even greater.
Ooh, Rick Barry, the Hall of Famer, joining us here on The Drive, guys. Rick, when you look at, your era and when you played, who was, your biggest rival, your biggest adversary, the guy that got you excited to go up against night in and night out?
Oh, I love to play against the best players. I mean, I really enjoyed having to guard, Dr. J, who came along later in the ABA days and went into the NBA, and I did get to play against him, and we were actually, very good friends. And I think I just had him on and did an interview with him with a show I do before our Ball Hogs thing, before all of our games, and there's Big Three on the weekends. And Doc was awesome, fun to drive. I always joked with him. I said, Doc, I can tell you one thing, there's no way you were ever going to posterize me, because if you were coming down the court wide open and I had the misfortune of being alone under the basket, I'm grabbing it. I'm not going to be on a poster with you dunking over the top of me, but yeah, no, I enjoyed it. The thing that actually made it easier for me is because I was a great scorer. Okay, I wasn't a great shooter. No, I was a great scorer. There's a big difference between the two. I hear some of these guys on television, well, he's a lockdown defender. When I hear an NBA guy saying that, I get very, very upset when I hear that from those guys, because you can lock down a shooter. You can't lock down a scorer. I have too many ways to beat you. I mean, so there is no such thing as in fact, I had Dr. J and I had George Gervin, and when I was doing the interview, I said, Doc, I got to bring this up. I said, did you ever have anybody lock you down? He said, not that I can recall. George, did anybody ever lock you down? He said, no. You just can't lock down a scorer. Okay, so just understand that, folks. Shooters, yes, but you have to have a well-rounded game. That's what makes it so difficult to play against a scorer, because I can drive left, I can drive right. If you're off me, I can shoot the ball. I'm going to get in, get some offensive rebounds. I can run the floor and score off that. I can get fouled and make free throws. I have too many ways to beat you. So, that's the reality of it. But I love playing against them. And for me, what made it easy is I knew that I would always have the other team's best defender guarding me. So there's no way that mentally I would ever try to, take a day off or something. I mean, I always gave my best effort every time. And I said, if I don't do that, I'm liable to be embarrassed by somebody who's a really good defender. And a good defender is not earmarked by how many points the guy scores. How many shots did he take to score the points? That's what you're looking at.
I like that.
Rick, before we let you go, we appreciate your time very much. I want to shift gears a little bit, and as it's kind of personal, I know, but we just lost, of course, another great 24, and you had a unique perspective on Willie Mays, being from back east, and also, you were in the Bay Area when Willie was there. I was just wondering if you could share with us what your emotions to his passing and what Willie Mays, the player, meant to you as a pro athlete.
Well, I had the good fortune of having my boyhood hero, who was Willie Mays. That's why I wore number 24, to get to be personal friends with him. And so he meant a lot to me. When I was growing up, again, I was a better baseball player. My father taught me how to play. He taught me how to catch fly balls with the basket catch. And so all of a sudden, this rookie comes onto the Giants, and I was a baseball fan, and he's got the basket catch. I said, well, that looks like that's my guy, and it turned out to be pretty darn good. And so that's why I wore 24. And then in parochial school, you didn't get days off for teachers' conventions like you do in the public school system. And so one day they were having a PAL, a Police Athletic League, trip to see the Giants play on a weekday, but it was a real early game. And so they had a trip for all of those kids who were in public school to go on the trip. And so I cut school from the parochial school to go on the trip because I wanted to go to the Polo Grounds to see Willie Mays play. And I figured, okay, they didn't have dugouts in first and third baseline. They had their dugouts were in center field. They had stairs going out there. So it's the ninth inning. The Giants are ahead. Willie's out in center field. And all of a sudden the game's over. And Willie starts to, head towards the locker room, which is the stairs in center field. I hung and dropped from the left field. I was in left field, hung and off the wall and sprinted out and got to Willie and shook his hand and managed to evade all of the security people because that's pretty quick. And my friends are there and they yank me back up and I get on the bus and they go back home. And so I go in the house late afternoon. My brother, who was in public school this time, my older brother, says, "So how was the game today?" I said, "What are you talking about, the game?" I was at school. He said, "No, you weren't. You were at the game." I said, "No, I wasn't." He said, "Yeah, you were. I saw you on television." I said, "What?"
Oh.
He said, "Yeah." He said, "At the end of the game, they zoomed in on this kid that came down from the wall in left field and sprinted out to Willie Mays and shook his hand. They zoomed in, and it was you." I said, "Oh, my God, don't tell Mom or Dad." And so how incredible is it that here it is, that that's what I did. That's my first meeting with Willie Mays. So I come out to play for the Warriors. I get to meet Willie, get to see Willie, and became friends with Willie Mays, my boyhood hero. And then I get a call for his 80th birthday. They're having a big celebration because he was a greeter for Bally's Hotel and Casino out in Atlantic City. And so the guy that was doing stuff said, "Hey, Rick, Willie wants you to come to the event." I said, "Oh, God, what an honor. That'd be so great." He said, "Yeah, but wait a second." He said, "He wants you to be one of the speakers." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, he's only going to have 3 guys talking." Now, meanwhile, they got a day. It's full of all these Hall of Fame baseball players. "Yeah, he wants you to be a speaker, but he wants you to be the first one, and he wants you to tell the story of how you first met him."
That's awesome.
So I go to the podium. I go to the microphone, and at the dais and where the mic is, and so there's 3,000 people packed into this ballroom back then. So I said, I just wanted to say what an honor it is to be here with such an illustrious group of incredible Hall of Fame athletes here, and I just can't even tell you what an honor this is to me. Willie Mays is always a boyhood hero of mine. And I know that right now, I know what every one of you is thinking. You're thinking, what the hell is he doing here? And so I said, and I'm thinking the same thing. What the hell am I doing here with this group and to honor Willie Mays? I said, and so I've got to be friends with my boyhood hero, and he wanted me to tell you the story, how I first met him. So here's the story. And I told him the story. So that was such a great memory for me.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Rick. We appreciate that. Appreciate your time, and hope you enjoy the rest of the summer. Good luck to Canyon in the 3-on-3, and we hope to talk to you again soon. Yeah, well, tell some of your fans and put it on your website if they want to go and get some products that I'm involved with. If they're into cannabinoid world with no THC and everything, go to medicilleaf.com, MEDICILEAF.com. They can go to AloeMD, ALOEMD.com. And they can go to GoSleeves.com, which is an amazing sleeve for knees and Achilles and calves and elbows that has kinesio tape built into them. Every one of them, the code is small letter RB24, my number, RB24. You get a discount on all those products. I use those when I play pickleball, which I do a lot of. I'm here to do something for the Warriors tomorrow. I never play without my Go Sleeves, and then I use the other products. The Medicilleaf product, the Platinum Pro Plus salve is unbelievable, and the Ultra Repair X is the other one. It's a cannabinoid product. I use them every day. I as much for you as they've done for me. So enjoy. Thank you very much, Rick.
All right, Rick.
We appreciate it. Take care.
Hey, guys, take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
man.
When we come back, we'll go over our chat with Rick Barry, react to that. And somebody's come up with one tough question for each NBA team. See if you agree with what they have for the Kings, because I sure don't. That's coming up here with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Warm again Thursday night with valley temperatures staying in the upper 60s to low 70s. Another hot day Friday with afternoon temperatures around 106. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Your water heater. Old, rusty, forgotten. We hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spas Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
This segment is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at kiavacaville.com.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of innovative newly designed tires, like the Bigfoot AT2 with improved all-terrain traction, and the Legacy All-Season Plus that keeps you on the road in any weather, with every set backed by our ProTech Plus warranty.
And right now, get $80 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Now through July 28th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. No carry-outs, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, even though Brent Rooker was certainly deserving with his 18 homers and 54 RBIs, the A's electric closer Mason Miller is the team's representative in the All-Star game. Now, he joins a list of 5 other Oakland rookies who have been named to the team over the years. Names like Wayne Gross, Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Andrew Bailey, and Ryan Cook.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver that includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us. Thanks to Rick Barry for joining us. Big-time pickleball player. I know he was a great tennis player.
Yeah, and I didn't know he was a baseball guy. I didn't know
either.
that. He said he was a better baseball player than basketball player, which is crazy to think.
Yeah. I was reluctant to ask him the GOAT question, but the way I framed it, I gave him that chance to go, that's a ridiculous question.
that was a good job. That was a good job. And, and he's right, man. It's hard to, say who's the GOAT, who's the greatest, because it is a team game. And how many great players haven't played with other great players, like had poor management, had poor front offices, like Dominique Wilkins, for instance. Great player, great player, never won a championship because his team around him wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we had a nice conversation with great one, Rick Barry. He truly was a great player. And it sounds like, he thinks the whole DeRozan situation with the Kings is going to hinge on them figuring out who's going to have the ball most of the time and get the ball winning and who's getting the shots.
Well, it'll be interesting because, when you look at the Kings makeup, you got Domas in his prime, De'Aaron in his prime, Malik in his prime, Keegan's trying to establish himself. And now you throw in a guy in DeMar DeRozan. Somebody has to sacrifice for the good of the team. I always look at what the Celtics were able to do. Drew Holiday is a 20-point-per-game scorer in this league, but he took a back seat because of the betterment of the team, because it's Tatum's team, Jaylen Brown's team. Who's going to take a back seat to DeMar DeRozan, or do they even need to? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But, what's the pecking order offensively, especially down the stretch? You know how it is in the NBA. Usually down the stretch, you give the ball to your best player to make the decision. Do you run it with Fox? You run it with DeRozan? And what about Malik, like we talked about?
Yeah.
A lot of times he had the ball in his hands. And so it'll be interesting to see, man. That's one of the question marks going into the season.
Your buddy Scal asked me one time, what is Drew Holiday's greatest asset? What would you say to that? We were doing an interview, and he said, what's the best thing about Drew Holiday?
His ability to impact the game without touching the ball.
Yeah. I said his strength,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his strength. Like
those things go hand in hand.
Yeah, exactly. He's just a winning player. He makes winning plays. I think that's his biggest strength. Whatever it takes. We saw it during the finals. And during the playoff run. Some of those late game steals or defensive plays that he made. He impacted the championship without making shots. That's how great he is.
I don't know how he's as underrated as he is. I think it's because he doesn't really seek out the spotlight,
right?
Especially in today's NBA where people are, they're out there in front of you all the time. And he's like, no, I'll just hang back, play defense, and win my championships for the Bucks, for the Celtics, wherever I am.
And his plays aren't really, how should I put this, viral plays.
Yeah,
he's not crossing anybody over or breaking any ankles.
Right.
He's not dunking on anybody. He's not sticking a three and, doing some sort of night or anything like that. He's just solid being Drew Holiday. No frills, no extra, just basic with it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of excitement around the NBA here as we start to get accustomed to who's where now, and hopefully still more movement to come. Certainly more movement to come. So I saw this. I don't know if you have seen this. Bleacher Report. They have tough questions each NBA team must answer. For example, I'll give you a few here. It's alphabetical. Chicago Bulls, who want Zach LaVine? Cavaliers, who fits together? The Mavericks, how much does Clay have left? Denver, are the youngsters ready? And so on and so on. Is Cade Cunningham a star for Detroit? What do you think the question should be for the Kings? I'll tell you what it is, obviously, in a minute. But what would you say?
What's the framework? Biggest question?
Tough question each team must ask. Golden State Warriors, is it over? Rockets, who's part of the future?
Ooh, that's tough.
Here's what they have. Yeah. Can Keegan Murray take a leap?
Yes.
See, to me, that's almost like, it's not as pressing as it was to me. It's obviously important. But Keegan now, it's almost like, you know what? We don't need you as desperately to become what we hope you will right away. We hope you do, but you know what? Now there's less urgency for that because we have DeMar DeRozan. We were hoping you'd be part of our big three. Now, that's great if you are, But we've got a big three without you, Keegan.
Yeah, I hear you, and I agree. Like for the team, it isn't that pressing of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But for Keegan, career-wise, it is. You know, like who is Keegan Murray going to be? And this is the thing about DeRozan signing. Now we look at the pecking order offensively. Fox, DeRozan. I could argue Malik might be ahead of Keegan in his new role now. Is Keegan our fourth option, our fifth option, or is he our third option? Like, to me, that's a big question mark going into this season. Who is Keegan Murray going to be in this DeMar DeRozan era of the Sacramento Kings? You know, because let's say you don't have DeRozan, we're expecting Keegan to make the leap. So my question isn't, will Keegan make a leap? It's, who is Keegan Murray this season for the Sacramento Kings?
Mm-hmm.
Is he just a corner shooter? Is he still a lockdown defender, but also a ball handler? Do we see some growth in that? I don't know what to expect from Keegan this season.
How good of a defender is he? And I'm asking because I know the team talks about him becoming an elite defender. And obviously he took the most difficult assignments last year and he's very switchable. How good of a defender do you think he is right now?
Well, if I'm being 100% honest, I wasn't as high on his defense as everybody else has been this season. Not saying he wasn't good, but people made him out to be elite.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. And like Rick Barry just said, is the mark of a great defender field goal percentage allowed, or you can't even get up a shot on
mm-hmm.
this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so I'd have to look at those numbers. I think he's very good. I think he's our best defender on the team on ball outside of Keon. Maybe I'd put Keon up there, but after that it's Keegan Murray. Yes,
mm-hmm.
I believe. But here's the thing though, that this is what bothers me, not about Keegan or the Kings or just life in general. Just because you guard Steph Curry on 2 possessions and make it a little difficult doesn't mean you're an elite defender. It's try to guard Steph Curry 40 minutes a night and see what it does for you offensively. You know, I forget what I was listening to. It might have been, the interview Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross had earlier this morning. And the guy was saying, talking about, I forget who he was talking about, but we were talking about an elite scoring player. You don't want, talk about Luka Doncic.
Okay.
Mark Dietz was on with those guys. He was talking about Luka Doncic. And he said, you don't really want Luka to be a lockdown defender because then it would take away so much from him offensively. And as much as we're preaching defense for Keegan, did that take away from his greatest strength, which has been his offense
mm-hmm.
for us?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to expect from Keegan Murray in that regard.
Here's what I hear you saying. Tell me if I'm wrong. Keegan's on this track. He's just starting off, and you could make the case that maybe he should be further along, but he's had 2 really good years. He's really been an excellent contributor, and he's on this path, and this path splits. This is where he's going to go. On the one hand, he becomes a star player or better, which is fair to expect from the number 4 pick. I think the other path there is, and he's beyond a bust. We know he's a player.
Yeah.
That's not a question. I think the other path there that he could take, if he never really improves as much as the Kings want him to, is he becomes a 3-and-D guy, right? Which is good.
Yeah.
That's
it's not right.
There's some really, good 3-and-D guys. They're really important part of the team, but he can be more than that still.
Yes, I think so. And, when you look at, a guy like Jason Tatum, let's say, wow, this is going to be interesting. You look at a guy like Jason Tatum. Remember I said his third year, he went up to 23 points per game, something like that. What's interesting about Tatum, he stepped up. He raised his game and became the alpha, even with Gordon Hayward on the team, even with Kemba Walker on the team. He didn't have to take a back seat to those guys.
They had to adjust to him.
Right. Even though, those were accomplished veterans, even Kyrie when he came. With Keegan, is he going to have to take a back seat to DeMar DeRozan, De'Aaron Fox, or will he still be aggressive And the dude was the number 4 pick, Whitey.
Right.
It wasn't like this guy was second round pick. When you're the number 4 pick, you are being brought in to be a franchise player. And that's what I want to see from Keegan. The mindset that he's the franchise player too, and he doesn't have to defer like he did a lot last season.
As you know, a lot of people now, fans, members of the media, are suggesting, hey, Keegan is going to greatly benefit from DeMar DeRozan's instruction and leadership. And DeMar DeRozan, while in the short term, he may take shots away from Keegan, in the long term, he's going to help Keegan become that player. Do you think is it that simple? Is that fair? Obviously, it's going to help, but to me, it's going to take more than what DeMar DeRozan tells him for him to become anything close to Jason Tatum.
Think so. I think so. And
at some point, he has to.
It has to be internally. You got to, and here's the thing. I talk about Tatum so much, and I was just looking it up. What helped Tatum, too, is he had Gordon Hayward. He had Kemba Walker. Well, Gordon Hayward was kind of a shell of himself coming off the injury. Kemba Walker had the knees also. So Tatum was almost forced to be the man too at some point. And he took it, like if I'm Keegan, I can't be comfortable just being the third option. You know what I mean? I can't be comfortable just standing in the corner shooting threes. You're the number 4 pick, young fella. Go out there and get yours. You're allowed to eat also.
From the 5-3-0, Keegan flipping back and forth from small forward to power forward will hurt his development. Can't do that to him. Think they will?
I think they will, but I don't know if it will hurt his development.
I think in the day of positionless basketball, it's not as big of a thing.
Which Jason Tatum?
A wing?
Right. He started out as a 3. Now he's the 4 on the Celtics. That didn't hurt. No, you know what? And here's the thing.
It's a good point, but I just don't think it's as relevant as it used to be.
And depending on the matchup, too, some 4s you might be able to take advantage of. If you're Keegan Murray, maybe you have a quickness advantage. Some 3s you might have a size advantage. And so I think it depends on the matchup, to be honest with you.
But I do think if DeMar is your 3 and Keegan's your 4, Domas is your 5, I think in the front court, there's going to be nights when you're having problems defensively.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like for instance, when we play Memphis, with Edie and Jaren Jackson Jr., that's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough matchup to face.
I would say OKC, except Domas seems to have Holmgren's number. Holmgren doesn't play that one.
But we forget they got big Hartenstein now.
I know.
And so is Domas guarding Hartenstein? Or if not, who's guarding Keegan guarding Hartenstein? I don't want to see that. I don't want to, and so
Beef Stew,
we need you. Beef Stew on line 1. Let's get them. But no, I think it depends on matchups. You face the Warriors, you're okay with that. They don't have a big, bruising guy or anything like that. So I feel like it depends on the matchup.
If you're making your 3s, you can play smaller. Teams have proven that. The Warriors have proven that. The Rockets have proven that.
Right.
But if you're a mid-pack 3-point shooting team and you're small, that's just a recipe to get your head caved in.
I keep bringing up the Celtics because they won the championship, and that's who I'm familiar with. Jason Tatum, and I know he's about 6'10" or so, and I believe Keegan's still growing a little bit. But Jason Tatum started off as a 3. Now he's a 4. Can Keegan be a 4 in this league? And to your point about the 3s, can DeMar DeRozan be a number 3 man, a small forward? The Celtics
Jay says that's what he's always been.
And the Celtics have a small ball lineup, right? Jaylen Brown is their 3. Then you got 2 guards and Derek White and Drew Holiday. It's not like they're imposing, but they're just really good. And to your point, the Celtics make a ton of 3s, man. They are hard to guard.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if when you look at the Kings, that's the recipe that Monty might want to follow too. I know we talk about they need a beefy, power forward kind of guy, but maybe you play 5 out. You know what I mean? Maybe, and then you whip it around and you're hunting those 3s.
As you're talking, I'm seeing in my mind's eye the Celtics with the floor spread, and then you have opportunities for Brown and Tatum to get to the basket, which is going to be Fox and DeRozan with
yeah.
those opportunities. If you're making the threes, you spread the defense out.
Right.
If you're not making them, they don't have to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but as we know too, Whitey, there's different ways to skin a cat, right? It's not one way to win a championship.
Right.
Somebody just pointed out on YouTube, our boy Family Schlegel, Denver won a title with Aaron Gordon at the 4. Aaron Gordon's not a 3-point threat. You know what I mean? He's not a sharpshooter or anything like that. He's your prototypical power forward, and so there's different ways. It depends on how does Monty and the Kings want to structure their team.
Mm-hmm. Now, Afro says he hasn't played the 2 in years. He's a 3. Herter, Ellis, and Monk are our 2 guards. That's what Jay said. But when we had Stacey King on, he said, DeMar DeRozan is a 2. He's always been a 2.
Right. And Stacey King said when DeMar DeRozan's at his best, he's a 2. Like his most effective, he's at his 2. And the reason he said that is, he can get to a spot and shoot over opposing 2s. I mean, DeMar DeRozan's 6'6". If he's going, let's say LeBron's playing the 3. Let's say Durant's playing the, I'm just throwing guys out there that sometimes play the 3. Well, if you're going against a 6'8" 3-man, it's harder to get your shot off. So a 2, you're dealing with 6'4" defenders, 6'5" defenders, and you might have the size advantage on them.
Ideally, you got enough pieces where he can play a little bit of both.
It was interesting. I'm on Basketball Reference, Whitey, and I don't know how accurate this is. I don't know how they do this, but DeMar DeRozan, first year listed as a shooting guard. Second year in San Antonio, small forward. Third year in San Antonio, power forward.
I've seen that.
Then first year in Chicago, power forward, then small forward. How do they figure that out? Like, that's
Isn't
crazy.
it how you're listed?
Is that what it
I
is?
think it's how
they
the
just
team
take
lists you. Yeah.
They listed him as a power forward?
Yeah.
So that would just be he's second, right, on the box score because it goes 3, 4, 5, 1, 2.
Is that how it goes?
I think so. But I mean,
that's weird, right? Like,
yeah, it is.
We're talking about 2 and 3, and they got him as a power forward some seasons.
I read somewhere that the Bulls would hide him defensively at the 4 sometimes, so he'd kind of play like a center field. But Jay, were you gonna?
No, I was going to say, for me, I think part of, and I hear what Stacey is saying. I think he's not a perimeter guy.
He's definitely not
until he starts from the perimeter, but finishes inside the paint or inside 15 feet. And so that's why, for me, I think he's a 3. I threw out Rip Hamilton. I think he's a slasher. I think he's a better shooter. I'm not looking at percentages because Rip was a cold boy at one point in time, especially for the Pistons at the height of what Rip Hamilton was. But I think the one thing DeMar does is he is a shot maker and not so much as creator. Now, to become a maker, you have to be a creator too. Like, that's part of it. But I think the one thing he's going to do that De'Aaron is still, for me, working on a little bit, though, is most people, De'Aaron attacks one-on-one. A lot of times we don't utilize, and I think that's something we're looking for, is a lot more pick and roll with Domas and De'Aaron. De'Aaron creates his own shot. He goes after guys. He puts them on an island. I go one-on-one, and I'm going to beat you. And then he gets to the secondary defense. For me, DeMar is the type of person that everybody turns around and looks at. And when he has the ball, it's like, what are we going to do? We might cave in a little bit. He might create some opening shots for Keegan. And I think De'Aaron does that. But for whatever reason, I'm not sure the league – I don't know what it is. Drapeson, you might be able to talk about it because you're on the floor every single game. You get to see it. You get to hear what people are talking about. For whatever reason, I don't see people like fear De'Aaron. He beats guys, but for whatever reason, I don't know why they don't fear him. I think DeMar is the type of person, because of the respect, the all-star, the resume, where people are like, okay, if he's got the ball, there's a problem.
I will say, Jay, I feel like this past year, Fox was probably feared more than previous years.
Got you.
Coming off the third-team All-NBA, coming off the clutch player of the year. I think De'Aaron Fox, people sort of, maybe fear is not the word, but they respected him more and respected his ability to take over a game more.
You know that he and Domas are 1-2 in whatever order on other teams' pregame
Right.
whiteboard.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Now there's a third guy they're going to have up there.
Right. And what we saw too is teams had to, start playing his 3-pointer. Also late in games, teams I felt like made life difficult for De'Aaron.
Yeah.
Remember 2 years ago, the dude hit everything in the clutch. He got to his spot, and I think teams kind of took that away to an extent this year. And so the thing about DeRozan that's so great, the whole world know where he wants to go. He wants to get to that elbow jumper.
Yeah.
But you can't stop him. Same thing with Kevin Durant. You can't stop these guys. Once they get to their spot, it's curtains, it's wraps. And Whitey, you brought it up. When DeMar dropped 18 in the fourth quarter, like, he could do that at the drop of a dime. Like, he is so elite at bucket getting and getting to the free throw line. Teams do fear him in that regard.
Anthony Slater made that point this morning with Jason Ross and company.
Oh, did Jason Ross?
Christopher Laud and others. Yeah. And Anthony Slater said, last year teams kind of solved the Kings offense.
Yes.
It just wasn't as effective. Teams figured it out, took some things away. Now all of a sudden you've got that extra dimension that is another part of the puzzle for teams to solve.
Yeah. You know what's interesting, and I may have admitted this before, but I'll say it again. The year De'Aaron Fox won the clutch player of the year, there would be games, even to the very end, where I'm like, amazed that he continued to come through. Like, it was a transformation. Like,
everybody knew it was coming.
It was coming, and nobody could do anything about it. And I felt like last year, this past season, not his fault or anything, it just wasn't the same. It, like, 2 years ago, it got to a point where we knew De'Aaron, it's fourth quarter, get out the way. He's going to rescue us.
Even said that,
right. He knew fourth quarter, just give it to Fox and get out the way. This last year, teams keyed on it, locked it up. I don't know what it is. And we saw Malik do it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so now you got another guy that can do it in DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully one more addition.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or do we now? Are we okay? Or is that going to be the front court?
People are saying Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Trey Lyles has the
starting four.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like Trey, but I think he's a perfect backup four.
Need him coming off the bench.
Yeah, I like Trey a lot. I like him 20 to 25 minutes a night, though.
Yeah, the conversation continues when we come right back. Also, the future face of the NBA. Does the future face of the NBA even play on Team USA? Next on Sactown Sports.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, tell me what's happening for Chrysler's Make This the Summer Sales event.
Everywhere you go, things are getting more expensive. But at Hoblet, we're working to save you as much as we can, which is why right now you can save up to $15,500 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn or Laramie Hemi 4x4s. And we figured why not include no payments for 90 days.
You guys are going all out this month, aren't you?
From the time my grandfather opened the first Hoblet dealership back in 1949, one thing we've strived for is to treat you like family. That's why you'll find the big city selection and savings with over 400 Rams available, but the small town care and attention when you buy from Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,500 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 1500s after 8,500 factory rebates and 7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 Chrysler Capita bonus cash. Must finance with Chrysler Capita qualify. And 500 first responder cash for current members of eligible First Responder Association. At least 5 of this net savings. Sample VIN 190060. See dealer for details.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and, of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
If you've been on the American River, it's uphill, it's downhill. There's trails everywhere that you can walk, and it just makes you happy. And I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. I was turning into a real crab. I went to the Good Feet store, and I tried on the arch supports. I could not believe that I was not in pain. I can walk, I can run, I can jump, I can do anything. My name's Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthebite.net.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spa's Sizzling Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzling Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Interesting thoughts on the YouTube chat here about Trey Lyles, his potential as a starting four. Soulshine Ben says Trey Lyles a great player, but he's great off the bench, not good enough to be a starter on a top 4 team.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Some now, Jay, including Tim Legler, who should know, he says the Kings with DeRozan have a chance to be top 4 in the West right now without doing anything else. He loves the move. Loves the move for the
Yeah, I saw that. I reached out to Legs too to see if we can try to get him on. So hopefully we can. I know he's going out to Vegas. This
Well, if you
upcoming
called
week,
him, he'll be on.
Well,
If Jay reached out to
we'll
him,
see.
it's done deal.
Doesn't work that way. Sometimes it's, especially now. One thing about the summer when it comes to the NBA, and we deal with it, of course, but people are everywhere. Like there's so many things going on in people's lives right now when it comes to the summer, between family and just living, that sometimes it's hard to catch up with people, and it takes a perfect time to get a person on, and sometimes it's like, yeah, I'll do it. He's going out to Vegas. So hopefully we'll try to get him within the next week or so.
So you and Drape's going to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm gonna tail out that way here, and
You just got back.
Yeah, but I'm going to work. It's not like I'm vacationing. We're going to put in some time.
But the
and-
City of Trees
and effort.
needs you in your leadership.
Well, I'm here. I'm nothing but a 45-minute flight away. When we got the senator, the alderman, Kevin Gleason. A lot of folks on the West Coast don't even know what an alderman is.
I've heard of it, but
it's
some sort of like a councilman or something.
kind of like that. Yeah, district person, running that part of town. But yeah, we got Kevin Gleason on point of it. Alderman Kevin Gleason. That's Drapes. I just came up with something. Kevin Gleason is the alderman of Sacramento.
The alderman,
because the mayor of City of Trees is going to be gone next week.
Oh yeah,
He's
the mayor.
been gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just following the LeBron James of Sac Sports 1140.
The alderman. What's this? The Jeffersons or something like that? Remember that show?
I was just saying, there's not people on the West Coast. You don't see aldermans because we have counties and different things there.
He asked me, and I said, I think it's like some sort of like a council person or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like a
district
council
member.
person.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So you're going to be in Vegas tomorrow.
Yes, I'm in Vegas. King's first game is at 3:00. But I'll still be 3:00 tomorrow.
Later. Yeah, okay.
3:00, big fella. And I'll be there, and we'll be hopefully getting some interviews next week as well.
Can we get, we're gonna have to try to do this. Can we get, it might have to be on the phone. Actually, it's gonna have to be on the phone. Can we get a Drapes courtside segment? Like who else is doing that?
You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna do the show, and during commercial, I'm gonna hop up and walk out to the arena floor and be on the phone with you guys and give you a vibe check, if you will.
But we're gonna do. See, that's the thing. We can do that on your phone via YouTube. So
Oh,
can
really?
It's
A
just
video
like,
one.
Absolutely.
Oh, we definitely doing
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Then.
Is
Yes,
like we should do a courtside. It's like tomorrow the Kings playing during the show. We're going down there. We're getting the play-by-play type situation from Drapes live on YouTube. So make sure you tap in Sac Sports 1140 YouTube link, and we get the visual as well.
How about this, fellas? I'm just now thinking of this. I'm glad you brought this up, Jay. And we're producing tomorrow's show live on the air right now.
Yes, we are.
But how about as they're warming up?
Like it.
Because the game's at 3, they warm up at about 2:30, 2:40.
Yeah, it's quick, fast, like high school.
I'm out there, the camera, talking to dudes, giving people a little behind the scenes, if you will.
Maybe you'll even get to talk to Dominique Wilkins.
Never happened. No, but I like that idea, fellas. Let's execute that. I definitely could do that.
Right on YouTube.
Who do they play tomorrow? Doesn't matter. I'm just curious.
I don't even know. I haven't even looked at it.
Well,
you
it matters.
You
We
put
gotta
me
know
on the
that.
spot
Yeah,
right
we gotta
now.
know that.
Don't worry. It'll be somebody. I'll let you know. I haven't even looked at the schedule yet, to be honest with you.
All right.
But I like that idea. Because, did you guys see I think it was the finals maybe it was the Western Conference finals when Shaq had like a camera.
Oh, I did see some of that.
I don't know how they
I wasn't
executed
sure what
it.
was going on. It was kind of odd. But
It was
kind of
odd, but we'd have to execute it a little better and have better quality than them. But,
Memphis Grizzlies.
All right.
Zach Edey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to walk down there. Zach, it's your boy Drapes.
Yes, sir.
Give me a prediction. Give me a prediction for the day, big fella.
Zach Edey will be like, TC, what's up? What's up? Jay in the back.
Right, Jay in the back. Simone holding it down.
Mic check.
And this is what I'm going to do, fellas. As Zach's warming up, I'm going to, get as close to him as possible. And we can see the height difference, too.
Yes.
Like, how big is Zach Edey really in person?
Security will be.
I
Excuse me, sir.
I like that. Good job, man. That's good stuff.
Last night I was wondering about this. Watching Team USA against Canada, and the starting lineup, they got off to a slow start, which was Embiid, and LeBron and Steph, and it was Booker and Drew Holiday. It would have been Durant, and then the second unit came in with Tatum, Bam, and Ant-Man, and they just took over. So it's kind of like witnessing, that passing of the torch. But the next face of the NBA, is it even somebody on Team USA, or is Wemby going to be like the next face, or is it going to have to be Tatum or American? Will America tolerate a face of the NBA if it's not someone from the United States?
Yeah, I think so, because Wemby is a generational talent. Like, kids love him. Wemby's one of my son's favorite. I was talking to a guy the other day at the California Classic. He's a Lakers fan, but Wemby is his favorite player right now. I will say, I do think before we get to Wemby being the face of the NBA, there'll be somebody else there, like a Giannis kind of run, or a Jokic kind of run, if you will.
Tatum right now, and we talked about this during the finals, like, what else can he do at this point?
I think Jason Tatum, and I said this about 6 months ago when we had this discussion.
You did.
I feel like he is on the verge of being the face of the league. And here's why I say it's Tatum, Jay and Whitey, because everybody says, it's going to be Ant-Man. Well, you got to win. To be the face of the league, eventually you got to win. And Steph Curry, LeBron, they all won. Tatum, even though he didn't win finals MVP, just watching him last night with Team USA, the dude is unstoppable. And I said this before during their run. Like, to me, I feel at times Tatum not coast, but lays back for the betterment of the team. He could go out there and score 30, 35 every game, but that he's shown that's not the winning formula. So I feel like at times he's, plays defense, rebounding, assist, and does everything like that. So I think Tatum is going to be the next face of the league.
Mm-hmm. I could be barking up the wrong tree, but to me, it's interesting that, like, Luka, he's not the face of the league.
No, he's not.
Jokic, not the face of the league, and when he was winning 3 MVPs in 4 years, and especially Luka. Look, let's face it. He's white, and so
he's hard to sell, right?
Well, is he, or is it just because that's great, you're terrific, but you're not an American? I mean, that's what I'm wondering.
But what about Giannis?
Right.
Giannis a face of the league, though, for a stretch, wasn't he?
Maybe.
He was up there. Giannis
punch
is
a hole in my theory.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, that's, I think, but when you talk about face of the league, and you guys tell me, and Jay, you could chime in on this also, does it mean just from a basketball standpoint, or marketing, sneakers,
Mostly,
all of that?
It's like the basketball leads you to all of that. And you know what I meant, right? When Luka's white, he's in America. Like, white players shouldn't be, but sometimes they're more popular.
I would say Tatum, because he has a sneaker out already.
Yeah.
He just won the championship. He's about to get a gold medal. His son Deuce is an internet sensation.
Mm-hmm.
He's a father in his son's life. Like, if Tatum really wanted it to put himself out there, he's hanging out with Jay-Z all the time.
Right.
Like, Tatum is moving in those circles.
Mm-hmm.
People might not be talking about it because he's not putting it out there as much, but he's moving in those circles. I think he's right there. I think he might be the next guy.
If he's not the face of the league, he's like on that merry-go-round and the ring is right there.
Right.
And all he has to do is grab it.
He just got right.
Yeah.
And if they win another one and he becomes finals MVP, and right now they're favorites to win next season, I could see him becoming the face of the league.
For me, I'm with you, Drapes. I guess I'm with everything. You have to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You got to be there. The other thing, too, is you got to have a head start. And when I say that is the face of the league 9 times out of 10. Now, Steph Curry kind of came from a different era, a different angle, but LeBron had a head start. Kobe kind of had a head start. Coming out of high school, picked by the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of have to have a head start. And I don't think Tatum had that head start in the form of off the court stuff. On the court, Duke, the guy, Ainge picked him. He's a Celtic. Like, basketball wise, I thought he had a head start. Off the court, though, it's kind of like he started quiet. He was a quiet person. Where, to me,
he's a little unusual or different.
I mean,
Tatum?
Yeah.
Outside looking in, it feels that way.
Yeah. The thing about Tatum, he doesn't move with a swagger. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
Anthony Edwards moves with a kind of confidence,
sure.
a swag.
Even Jaylen Brown has way more swag.
Right,
Yes.
right. Yeah. Tatum is kind of, I don't want to say awkward or, but he's a little
he's
surly
like
with it or something.
He's Kawhi. He's a bubblier version of Kawhi Leonard, if that makes
right.
Like Kawhi is just the antithesis of what, whatever the word is.
Antithesis.
Antithesis.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That too.
Right. Of like, I don't care about none of this stuff. I'm just balling, and I want my money. Right.
Right.
Tatum is kind of like, I'm just a little bit above that, but now we're starting to see, and Drapes made a great point. Well, now we're starting to see him at the Michael Rubin parties.
Yes.
Now we're starting to see he's got the shoe. He's on the Doritos. He's
right.
He's starting to, build that personality a little bit, where Ant-Man just came straight into it. He had a head start.
Oh,
it's like, you're from Atlanta, you're doing your thing. He's already on hustle. He's Kermit. He's already got like that type of movement.
Yeah, he had a little bit more cachet just being the number one overall.
That's number one.
That's
but did you guys see Tatum's going to be on the cover of 2K?
Yes.
This year's 2K.
Yes.
So that's,
starting
moving
to get
in
there.
that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's I'm looking at some of his endorsements, Jordan Brand, Gatorade, Subway, Ruffles that you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And he supposedly, and I was seeing a documentary or video, he hasn't spent any of his NBA money. I don't know if that's true or not, but he's been trying to live off of endorsements.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah, that was sort of Rob Gronkowski in New England did that as well. Marshawn Lynch. You live off your endorsements and you bank your salary.
I tried that for a while, and then living off my endorsements, and then it was lunchtime, and I didn't have anything to eat.
No, all you had was the grill, and that's it, right?
Take care of y'all chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Live off endorsements.
Well, Jay's back, and in his absence, Simone did
She did a great job.
Boat raced
job.
you. I heard he put the sails
hold
up.
up now.
The sails went up in the air on you.
Hold up, big fella. Hold up now. She did all right.
I don't know.
She was all right.
I threw that out there.
Yeah. Well, no, Monday, I think Drapes won. Tuesday, Simone shut him out.
She crushed me Tuesday.
Yesterday, she took a 3-0 lead, and he came back and forced a tie.
3-0. Yeah.
Hit him with the little Florida Panther.
Yeah, the
Edmonton
comeback.
Oiler action.
Yeah,
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, so this upcoming matchup, crucial in determining the week's championship. So we got the Babes' first game and LeBron's homecoming. In the Wayback Quiz, it's next on Sactown Sports.
You don't want to miss the Kia of Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. This is your chance to drive home in a brand new Kia with leases starting as low as $169 per month, plus bonus cash. Whether you're eyeing the stylish Kia Soul, the versatile Kia Sportage, the luxurious Telluride, or the efficient Kia Forte, we've got the perfect model to fit your lifestyle and budget. Come into Kia of Vacaville today and experience our incredible selection of vehicles, outstanding customer service, and unbeatable deals. Kia of Vacaville's friendly and knowledgeable staff are here to help you find your dream car and to make the entire process seamless and enjoyable. Imagine cruising through this summer to Tahoe or the beach in a brand new spacious Kia, making memories with family and friends. Don't wait. These deals won't last long. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and turn your dream into reality. Make this summer one to remember with a new Kia from Kia of Vacaville. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details.
Whitey here reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Proved it again over the 4th of July holiday, and I'll be proving it again this weekend. You want to bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meals with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill, turning me into a grilling pro because of the features that other grills cannot match. They're built different. They're built better. They're built to last, made with a premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. Napoleon offers a limited time rebate on select grills, so make sure you check that out. Napoleon Grills and Accessories now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here to remind you that the famous Bay Area pizza company Amici's East Coast Pizzeria now has a location in Sacramento offering takeout and delivery to the greater Sacramento area. You can check out their menu and order online at amicis.com and click on the Sacramento location. And as a special deal all this week, order any large pizza and get a second pizza of equal or lesser value for half the price. Use code HALF-OFF at checkout. So when you want a great deal on pizzas this week, use promo code HALF-OFF at amicis.com Sactown.com, and Amici's delivers.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water reel.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
As we get ready for today's Wayback Quiz, Drapes, you should know someone's coming after you on the chat. That someone is Simone.
Simone in the chat? Let's go.
Totally. Yesterday, he not only was Googling, but he stalled so I couldn't get a shot off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Derek Too Shifty says Drapes is not beating the cheating allegations.
No. Derek was about to say, that Drapes has been cheated multiple times this week.
Uh-oh, we got some.
Yeah, you didn't see that part?
We got some.
But now the truth arises. You didn't read the whole thing.
I didn't read the whole thing.
But now the truth arises.
Let me say this before we begin, fellas. I'm playing this game today in protest already.
Of what?
Because Whitey, for some reason, Jay, seems happiest when I lose. Like when I win, well, he's Debbie Downer, he's frowning. But when Simone beat me, it was like a celebration.
I pull for the underdog, and you're the LeBron of the station.
So who you pulling for this time?
Well, I'm objective. I want a good game.
Here it is.
I want a
I'm
good
going
match.
for the underdog. Actually, I'm objective. All right,
hey, when you came back, I leaned into that big comeback of yours a couple days ago.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
all right. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah. Where is the quiz? Oh, it's under my box score of last night. Do you want the box score?
You really got the box score from last
you
yesterday?
Don't have that?
No, that's all right. You don't need to save that.
The Wayback Quiz for July the 11th. We've made some, not really changes, but adjustments, Jay. Just so you know, we have 3 multiple choice today. We have 2 closest twos, and we have 1 true or false.
Man, what's all this?
I know it's
1 of 4 things.
It's not
man.
me,
Come
man.
on, man.
It's Whitey. It's not me.
Wayback Quiz for July 11th. So all the questions based on things that happened or having something to do with something that happened on the date of July 11th. In these years, 1914.
Oh.
And I think, Jay, you're up first today.
Yeah, Jay's up first.
1914, 1961, 1985, 1989, 2011, and 2014.
All right, I'm going 1914. I'm putting my toe in it.
14. Multiple choice.
Okay.
Babe Ruth, this date, 1914, makes his major league debut with the Red Sox in a 4-3 win over Cleveland. And in his debut, Babe Ruth was the winning pitcher, hit a home run, or struck out 3 times.
He was the winning pitcher.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got it.
Why are you so excited?
Because he's got one right.
It's okay.
That's the
All
point.
right. Good job, Jay. Nice guess.
No, that wasn't a guess.
This guy act like he knew that.
That wasn't a guess. I had to pinpoint it.
All right.
Yeah, he didn't hesitate.
No, he
All
got
right,
that
Drapes. 61, 85, 89, 2011, 2014.
85.
1985. A closest to.
Jay first.
Oh, excuse me. It is not a closest to.
Come on.
I wrote closest to. This guy. It's a multi. It's
Okay,
a multi.
I see where you're going,
You
Drake.
see what I'm talking about,
I
right?
wrote it down wrong.
You see
It's
what I'm
all right
talking
here.
about?
1985. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
This date, 85. Nolan Ryan became the first pitcher to strike out how many batters for his career? 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000?
4,000.
Wrong.
4,000 is correct.
Yeah, come on, Jay.
He got to 5,000.
He got to 5,
I
but
know,
he still
right?
had more
I know,
time in his.
I
Come
know,
on,
I
big
know, man. I was
fella.
1 to
hoping
1.
Hope he fell for it. It's like, hold on.
1 to 1. Back to you, Jay. 61, 89, 2011, 2014.
I'm going 2014. We'll take the latest.
All right. This is multiple choice.
Okay.
In a Sports Illustrated article, this date 2014, LeBron explains why he's coming home to Cleveland. He says he can't wait to reunite with what player whom he calls one of my favorite teammates in the article.
Yeah.
Can't wait to play with one of my favorite teammates. Was it James Jones, Anderson Varejao, Daniel Gibson?
It was Daniel Gibson.
Sorry, that's not correct.
Yeah.
James
boy,
Jones.
James
Was it James Jones?
Jones.
That is not correct.
He said Anderson Varejao? No way.
Yes.
What?
That's what he said.
Get out.
Can't
I'm going
wait
to have to Google. I'm going to have to look up that article. again.
Favorite teammates, Anderson
Who
Varejao.
was the author of that Sports Illustrated
No, geez.
story?
He was. He wrote it.
I was thinking James
I
Jones
was
or
too.
Mo Williams or somebody, you know.
I was looking for Larry Hughes or
somebody like that.
Damon Jones.
See, that was a
Right.
pretty good landmine I put in there, James
I
Jones.
know, that was
right?
a good one, yeah.
All right, still 1 to 1.
1 to 1.
Yeah,
It's
and
me.
you're up.
Yeah.
1961, 1989, 2011.
2011.
2011. A closest to. This is a closest to. You want Jay, to
Jay
go
first. Jay first.
All right. This day, 2011, Steve Nash traded to the Lakers for draft picks.
Goodness gracious.
In his final 2 seasons as a Laker, regular season, how many regular season games would he play? Steve Nash, his final 2 regular seasons as a
Combined.
Laker. Yes, sir. How many games combined?
I'm going 45.
45. Over to Kyle Draper.
46.
It was 65.
Yes.
Draper has the point.
2 to 1, baby.
2 to 1 lead.
Steve, let me say this. Steve Nash is one of my most disliked NBA players of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
What the heck?
Yeah. We'll talk about it all.
All right, we got to do that. All right.
Okay. All right. So that means 2 to 1 Drapes. We got 1961, 1989 left for you. And Jay, it's your turn.
Yeah, 89.
89. It's a multiple choice.
Oakland A's question coming right now.
Yeah, probably.
What former president
Oh,
on this date, 1989, what former president joined Vin Scully on NBC's broadcast of the All-Star Game? Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan.
that'd be great. I'm gonna go Jimmy Carter.
That is not correct.
Ooh, okay.
Kyle Draper.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. What former president joined Vin Scully on NBC's broadcast of the All-Star Game, July 11th, 1989? Was it Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan?
That's a tough one right here. That's tough. I'm going to go with what date today, 1989?
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
He's got it.
Yeah.
Reaganomics?
Yeah, boy.
Well, you guys didn't see that?
I can't quite remember it. I can't
5
remember.
years old. I didn't see
Yeah.
it.
That clinches it for Kyle Draper.
That's weak.
Yeah. Congratulations, Kyle.
That's weak. That's weak.
He's got the win.
I'm still on vacay.
Yeah. A 3-1 win. That was a competitive match.
Welcome home, Jay.
Yeah, that was weak.
Welcome back.
I don't like all these options and Scantrons and all that stuff. Yeah, this need a Scantron to take Whitey's way back quiz now. It's either yes or no. You got the answer or you don't.
They're easier than they would have been, and you still missed them.
Yeah, 1989 and Reaganomics, man. I know Reaganomics.
All right, we'll be back with you tomorrow. Have a safe flight. We're going to hear from you tomorrow.
Right? Yes.
Stick around. Golf to go next on Sactown Sports.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client,